Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hallelujah. Yahweh, we stand this day before you, being ever so glad. We give you all honor. We give you all kabod that you well deserve, because you are the only great Elohim to serve. Yahweh, we told you for showing us the way. We told you for putting us in the path of truth. Yahweh, continue to open our eyes and help us to see your ways. Help us to see how we supposed to walk in this way. Yahweh, continue to lighten the path for us so we can continue to walk that straight and narrow path to salvation. Yahweh, have our minds focused in this season as the feast approach. Yahweh, have us in the mindset to want to do your will, to want to cleanse ourselves, to want to dwell with you and your son, Yahshua HaMashiach, to have your Ruach HaKodesh to dwell within us. Yahweh, we know that we have to walk upright before you in order for you to have your Ruach dwell within us. Yahweh, continue to show your people that this way of life is very serious, and we need to continue to do your will if we think we're going to walk into your almighty kingdom. Yahweh, continue to strengthen us all in this way, especially as the feast approach, because we know Hashatan, he's going to attack day and night. Now, Yahweh, we know all the trials and tribulations we had to go through, they serve to strengthen us all. And we told you for bringing us through all our trials, all our tribulations. And know that even though we're going through trials this very day, these things are to strengthen us for those things that are to come down the line, so we'll be ready. So Yahweh, continue to prepare your people for things that are to come. Continue to show us the way so we will not fall in the day of adversity. Yahweh, we told you because we have you every step of the way to rely on, to look upon your son, Yahshua HaMashiach, and walk in his footsteps. And know if we continue to walk in his footsteps, we cannot fail. Yahweh, we told you that you have put us out in the earth not to fail, but you are there to guide us, to help us in this way, and to help us to make it to the finish line, so we may be able to walk into your almighty kingdom and see your face in peace. And Yahweh, continue to show all wickedness and evil in this earth, that it will not prevail, that your son, Yahshua HaMashiach, is coming to this earth and is going to set everything right. And everything will be right when he places his foot on this earth, and all evil and wickedness will be gone forever and ever. Yahweh, we look forward to that day where the earth will be at shalom once again, and to be able to be one with you and your son, Yahshua HaMashiach. And Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. House of Israel, you may be seated. Shabbat Shalom, House of Israel. I say Shabbat Shalom, all that are tuning in on the live stream. Today I want to read from the book of Tehillim. This is Psalms 92. Psalm 92 says, "It is tough to give Todah to Yahweh, and to sing praises to your name, O Most High, to declare your loving kindness in the morning and your faithfulness every night. Hallelujah. On an instrument of 10 strings, on the lute and on the harp, with harmonious sound. For you, Yahweh, have made me glad through your work. I will triumph in the works of your hands. O Yahweh, how great are your works. Your thoughts are very deep. A senseless man does not know, nor does a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up like grass, and when all the workers of iniquity flourish, it is that they may be destroyed forever. But you, Yahweh, are on high forevermore. For behold, your enemies, O Yahweh, for behold, your enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. By my horn you have exalted like a wild ox. I have been anointed with fresh oil. My eye also has seen my desire on my enemies. My ears hear my desire on the wicked who rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of Yahweh shall flourish in the courts of our Abba. Hallelujah. They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing to declare that Yahweh is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Hallelujah. 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 Enough said. He is my rock. He is my salvation. We have nothing else to do but to walk in his ways and make him pleased with us so we may be able to walk in that kingdom. That kingdom sounds so great, Israel, that you do not want to miss it. So continue to keep his ways, continue to cleanse yourself so Yahweh may be able to dwell within you with his Ruach HaKodesh and guide you along the way. So at the end, you will see it was well worth striving for. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. At this time, I'd like to turn the service over to Zakin Dawi Yakinhan Sr. We want to receive him by giving Yahweh the highest form of praise by saying, Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We do give Almighty Yahweh all honor and praise unto that Kodesh name. We thank Yahweh for the gift of life, our health and strength, and for all that he's done for us as his people down through the line of time. We told Yah for life. There are times where life gets rough, it gets a little tough, it gets a little difficult for the people of Yahweh. And yet, we always have hope. We have to come to know that. I was thinking on some things and earlier this morning, looking out over how through the line of time, Yahweh has continuously called for Yisrael to just fear him and to keep his commandments. I learned some things in my few short years on the earth, and you look up and realize this is not as difficult as the world has made it out to be. Life gets difficult when you don't seek Yahweh. I'm going to show you some things in the word of Yahweh. Now, if you don't read it, Toda Yah, my precious eye, if you don't read the word of Yahweh, you'll never know that these things are there. And then you'll wonder why life never gets any better. And if you're thinking better in the sense of bigger paycheck, bigger house, more luxuries of life, but that ain't even what we're talking about. I mean, we ain't even talking about that. A relationship with Yahweh makes life better. Because now you come to understand what it is to be in this world and not of it. That's what gets a better relationship. Through observation, one thing I love about old folk can say stuff to you. Sometimes it might offend you because you really didn't catch the depth of what they see. But they've been around a little bit, so then they understand it, so they're capable of speaking it based on how they see it. Most of the time, we really want somebody to say it the way we see it, and we want to hear what we want to hear. So old folks can observe a thing and draw a conclusion quick. It's like you in the house, is warm, everything is what it is, but you go open that door, try to check the temperature, and you draw a real quick conclusion. Cold out there. You shut the door, you're going back in. Especially if you don't have to go out that day. But you draw the conclusion quickly. You don't go back in the house and sit down and, I wonder if it's really that cold out there. Maybe my mind was misperceiving it. You draw the conclusion. It's the same with life in Yahweh. And the more I look at something so beautiful, I was reading the scriptures on how when Yahshua come, this is the part I like. When Yahshua come, it's because all the world will have been so tired, so beat down. They're going to be so sick of the people that's ruling that they're going to demand the very imagery of the men that they hate most. They're going to want him. They're going to want him. And Yahshua said something in the word through Isaiah the prophet we need to pay attention to. You ever see them basketball teams? They go out there, they playing. They going after what? The championship. So we're going after that. And they work so hard, somebody acquires it. Well, it is after the kabod, or the glory of all the nations in Yahweh that he sent Yahshua. Go after that. Go get my glory. And I like that because he's going to pull it off. People will hate you when you can see how Yahweh's going to do it so well and so clearly. They will hate you because, see, you know it. You understand it. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
It's like, I read specific newspapers. I read them every day. I don't have to just overburden myself. I'm looking for specific things. And every now and then they pop up. I'm like, knew it. There it is. Knew it. So people will not like you for even being above that. Especially when you're looking at the world through the word. That's why I'm not even pressed to make new friends. In this era time, I'm getting old. What in the world I need with more new friends, you know? The family of Yahshua is all you need. You ever see families in the neighborhood where you live in or have grown up in where they really didn't bother nobody, but they were just so close that their family was all that they needed, that they had all that they had. They didn't speak to nobody, just they stuck together. Well, that's how Yisrael should be. Yeah, we got to be in the world. Yeah, you got to work. You got to deal with people, what have you. That's different. But that don't mean you got to be all entwined with them like peanut butter and jelly. One thing about peanut butter and jelly, you get them together, you ain't getting them apart. Right? Anybody ever made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, didn't try to take it apart? You know what? I think I just want the peanut butter. You don't get them apart. And I know somebody going to be smart. Say, well, I'll wipe it all off. Well, wipe it off then. But my point being, we don't have to be like peanut butter and jelly with the world. We don't have to be all cozy and buddy with the world. I've seen in my lifetime, and this has broke me down on many occasions, but I'm thanking Yahweh that I'm getting to a point now where I'm learning to get over it. Life for Yisrael is going to be like this young generation of young boys that steal cars. If you ever seen stuff in these inner cities, you'll see video clips on the news. The young boys steal a car, wreck it, jump out and run. Keep right on going. They never look back. It ain't theirs, no way. They jump out and run, keep on going. They don't care if nobody get hurt. They just know, all right, I got to get away. Life for Yisrael is just like that right now. With all that's happening in the world, you got to treat it like the scene of a stolen automobile. You got to get up and get away from it. And you're going to see more and more of that as the time moves on. I was talking with a man the other day. He walked up on me. I was sitting in the truck. He started talking to me about something. At the time, I was reading a very significant news article. And I thought the timing of his approach, as well as the nature of the conversation, I thought the timing was, wow, that's serious that he did it at that precise moment and said exactly what he said. So I'm sitting there reading the newspaper about a specific royal family, so-called royal family that most people don't even know existed. I'm looking at it from the scriptural standpoint because as the time draws near, scripture teaches us about these 10 kings that will draw their global power together in such a way where they're going to demand that the rules be changed to do this, that, and the other in favor of them, establishing a throne for a king even over them. You understand? Now, I know a lot of Israelites, they may not study that. Maybe Yahweh has not given them that. We will not disrespect them. We'll say in our venue where Yah has granted people their realms to work or activity, we look at that. So I'm looking at this specific family. And I said, now it's interesting that they made the news right around this time. See, when the feast days and things emerge, we have to be watching so much as Israel. Among yourselves, you got to watch. Sad point. All right, it's up. Let it come out. Sad point. I always watched almost all my life. I've seen it in the assemblies. Whenever the feast days of Yahweh emerge, the devil always got to destroy something. He got to rise up. He got to mess with people. He got to mess with their minds, their hearts. Sometimes you got to deal with Yahweh's word in what the world calls the scientific approach, just to get the people to see a thing. Okay. See, most of our people think that they're spiritual, but they really can't explain spiritual conditions. You know, the smell of gas is a spiritual condition. It has a spiritual component behind it. Having a headache is a spiritual condition. It has a spiritual component behind it. Everything in this universe has a spiritual component to it. You hear people talking about they spiritual, this, that, and that, but then a lot of time when spiritual dynamics kick up, it's already in motion, but now it ups the ante. They don't see it, but we see it from a natural perspective. So as I'm reading and the man approaches and you're always reading that garbage about this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Man, I don't care nothing about what's going on in the world. I prayed and I asked God to bless me, to let me be alive to see the end of the world. That's what he said. So I said to him, okay, and if by chance you are around at the end of the world, are you striving to ready your soul that he will receive you, or are you just so damn nosy that you really want to see what's going on? He says to me, I never really thought of it like that. You know me, I always got a response. I said, well, good. Maybe you need to get away from me, go sit down, think about it for a few minutes until I come out there and work with you. This is what I was reading. This was in the Wall Street Journal, 2/18/2022. That was yesterday, right? Mystery of Italy's crown jewels is who gets to keep them. Did y'all know Italy had a royal family? Anybody? Got y'all. Everybody. For once, everybody in the sanctuary at the same time. And mother, I'm surprised. Because mother would use be on stuff like that. All right, that's that. I knew it, but never paid it any attention. So, well, Johnson, why is this significant now? Because, see, if people don't believe that Yahweh's word of prophecy is steadily unfolding and it's gathering itself together, it's like magnetic dust. The dust can be all over the place, but if you come with a more powerful magnet, guess what it's going to do? It's going to gather, it's going to pull all that magnetic dust together. If it is the more powerful draw, everything that's magnetic, it's going to draw to it. And it will also separate anything that is not of a magnetic property. You hear me? Yes, sir. It's going to separate it. I like that part, just like Yahshua coming. If we have the right magnetism, we'll be drawn to him. This is why I try to tell Yahweh's people. Mr. Johnson did something last night. This is the funniest thing I've seen him do in a long time. You all go back and play that message. Just before he closed, he said something. I was sitting at my desk. I was listening to the message. I was getting notes together. He said something. He said, this is why Zarkane always tells us, calm down, be patient, and continue. Something to that effect he said. So as he was saying it, I'm sitting there underlining what he's repeating in my message. Because my message today is entitled, calm down, be patient, and continue in the straight and narrow path. And that was among the last thing he said last night. So I'm like, what he do? Snuck in the house and looked at my notes. Here, I ain't seen him all week. So I know he hadn't been in there to peep. But it was the way in which he was calling out the title. So I want to use this today to encourage all of you as the children of Israel. We were getting the feast days together, the dates, the calendar. For those of you that received any text or email from me, we will still send you the hard copy anyway, but we thought it was imperative to just text it and email it electronically, since that's the way of the world right now. Get it to most of you as quick as we could. That way you had a copy of it, as well as put it in the mail. I'm telling you all, you're going to want to be old-fashioned. As the earth moves more and more forward, certain things you're going to want hard copies of it. Certain older stuff you're going to want, like cassette tapes, CD. Now, I ain't going back 8-tracking and all of that, but certain stuff you're going to want or you're going to need, because as the world becomes more modern, more advanced, whatever more modern means, more advanced, that type of stuff is going to draw the people closer and closer to the beast. When Revelation teaches us about the mark of the beast, the number of his name, his image, and the various components that are emerging that we're going to have to overcome, it's more to it than just saying, well, I ain't taking a shot. It's deeper than that. It ties in to worship. It ties into finances. It's going to tie into social conditions. So there are components that have to be taught for Yahweh's people to just watch it and not say anything. See, our number one problem is Israel. We get bored real quick. Poor little children, they get bored so fast. That's the truth. We get bored. Every week we keep Shabbat, we do this, we do that. You know, and what I've observed, a lot of people that get bored so fast is, a lot of times I have notes and things from the elders when I was a young child, young boy. I had notes a lot of time older than some of them. You couldn't accumulate or acquire those notes if you get bored so fast, because you think you don't need to hear nobody. So this is the era that we're in. What I observed in sending out the text starting, I believe, Thursday night, yesterday, whatever day it was, I know I sent out well over 100 texts, just sending it out to people. And I was reading their responses and looking back, and one of the responses from Sister Katie in Arizona, one of the responses, y'all know me, I love Yahweh's little people. Even if you have to rebuke them, sometimes you got to chastise, you got to push them, you got to cry out. I love Yahweh's people. But one of the responses, it really made me tear up. It really made me, it drew tears to my eyes because I hadn't thought about it that way. But she said something to the effect that she thanked Yahweh for it, to be a child in his era of time, to learn the commandments. I'm paraphrasing now. But one of the things she said in her text, and I hadn't thought about it like that, she said, I pray that Yahweh Baruch me to be standing there that day when it is said unto you, well done, my good and faithful servant. And I read it, but I didn't pay attention to what it said. I was thinking, and this is why you got to really pay attention to what you're reading. I was thinking that the text said that I will be glad to stand there when it is said, well done, my good and faithful servant. But when I read it again, she was saying she would want to be standing there to hear it and see it when it's said to me. And that really made me cry, because I was like, wow, somebody actually thought enough of me to say that for me. Whereas that's why I stay so hard on you all, because I want to see that for all of you here in the building, here on the channel, Seen, unseen, known, unknown. That's what I want for Yisrael. And in being so selfish to fight for that, I never thought about it for myself. I always strive for it, but I never really thought about it for myself, that we will make it in, y'all willing, that we all get there. We will be hearing Yahweh congratulate each and every one of us as we have made it. Because we're not going to hear him condemn those that didn't make it. They come along and deal with him face to face 1,000 years later. But to really hear somebody say, I want to be there when it's said to you, was so touching. I was like, wow, you know, here I'm always, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Here I'm always feeling inadequate. In other words, I feel like we're not doing enough. Even when sometimes we're tired and I say, well, I don't really want to do the Wednesday. Y'all would give me the energy and the strength. I come and do it. I press on because I feel like there's so much to say, to do, and to teach y'all's people. You just press on, and he always give you the strength. I came in the other day, pulled out a CD. The children of Teshua community was singing. This was all the little young men. They were young brothers, man, 10, 12 years of age at the time. And they sang this song called Yah Gives Me Strength. Yah Gives Me Strength. I can't even sing the tune of it. You just have to hear it for them. I got to bring the CD and play it for you all. But the little young brothers were so beautiful how they sang, I can do all things through Yahshua who gives me strength. And I thought on that. I was like, wow, that's serious. You know, that was what kicked in my strength for Wednesday night to go ahead and do it. Because I was tired. A lot of what we deal with in the world is just that. It's such deep spiritual warfare that you wonder sometimes why you're so tired or worn down when you ain't even worked that hard. These are spirits stabbing at you, shooting their arrows at you, the fiery darts of their battle. And this is taking its toll on a lot of us. A lot of times we are not paying attention because we're just, well, we're happy-go-lucky. We're always looking for the adventure, the excitement of life all the time. Yahweh warned us about life, and even when talking to the daughters of Yah about living in pleasure and things of that nature, he said she's dead already. But it's to Israel too. We're dead already because we're really not really willing to demonstrate to Yahweh that we want to make it in. But the royal families of the earth, pulling all their power and strength together now, they want to be recognized. They want to be on the world stage for whatever is shifting in place. And Yahweh was showing me how, as it goes down, he's going to bring all of them to the point where they're going to get tired of one another's ruling, okay? Pardon me. Tired of each other lying to one another. I mean, look at it. Putin. I'll give you a good example. Putin over there with the Ukraine, setting up all kind of tanks and everything. And America say, don't invade them. Don't do this. Don't do that. Oh, man, what y'all talking about? We're not invading. We're not doing anything. We ain't going over there with them. Who them tanks over there? China. They're concerned about power and money, wealth on a global scale. They're steady moving. And they're saying, y'all got too many rules going. You're too totalitarian. You're too this, that. We ain't none of that. Man, what are they talking? Get over there in that corner. Sit down. And so the world is getting tired of the global leadership. This is the beauty of righteousness. The light shined into the darkness, and the darkness overcame it not. This darkness of this world cannot overcome the righteousness of Yahweh. So he's going to allow their evil to eat them up and beat them up so badly that they get down to the wire where all options are exhausted and they have no other alternative but to clamor for one thing. The righteousness of Yahshua. Isn't that amazing? See, everybody might not be around to see it. I don't know. I see it now. And I realize, the very imagery that you all hate so much is the very imagery that Yah was going to demand, that you demand. That's serious. That's serious. That's the real end of white world supremacy. See, everybody hate the black man. I don't care what it is. They hate him. They'll tolerate the black woman. They'll tolerate the woman of all nationalities because they know they can dominate them. Plus, they need them to reproduce and all this other stuff. But They hate him. So Yahweh says in his word that he's going to send his son after his glory. Go retrieve that. Go get that. I remember years ago my father had loaned the tool to a neighbor of ours, and neighbor hadn't sent it back. My father said, go up there and tell him, I said, send me my so-and-so. I went up there. Yeah, my dad sent me. He said, get this, that, and the other from me. Oh, yeah. You could tell at 9 years old, the man really didn't want to give it up. But my father didn't even go up there. He sent me. I went, I got the little hammer, cold chisel, and I think it was something else, but I retrieved it, brought it back to my dad. So Yahweh is going to send Yahshua to retrieve his glory. I'm using that word glory today. In the Hebraic, we know is the kabod. Go get it. Go out there. They're so beat down. They're so destroyed. They're so stupid. You go out there. They'll demand that a man like you stand up. And you beat them down. Put them in their place. And rule over them. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The crown jewels usually bring to mind kingly treasures. Yet for the past 75 years, Italy's own glittery trove was largely forgotten. Anybody here 76 years of age? Nobody. Okay. I'm trying to check because, see, 75 years ago wasn't none of us around, so we didn't know about this. But you go back and check Hitler, Mussolini, and all that. Pardon me. It was this era for Italy's king. And what happened was the monarchy was so corrupt, they let Mussolini rise up and do what he want to do as a political leader, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's like you got the Queen of England over there, but Boris Johnson is the prime minister. He ain't the power. He's the figurehead. So you had the king who let Mussolini emerge to do what he did. But the people got so mad about it that, hey, they overthrew the kingship. You ain't heard nothing else about it. In the aftermath of World War II, Italy's last king and his family left Rome in a hurry after Italians voted to dump them for a republic in June of 1946. A few days after the referendum, a representative of the ousted family stashed the crown jewels in a deposit box at the Bank of Italy, where they remain. Over decades, neither the ownership of the crown jewels nor their fate was ever established. Nobody even bothered to assess their worth. And they going on into a discussion and a fight about it now. The royal family want it back. Maria Pia, Maria Gabriella, Maria Jose, Maria Beatrice. You all think we got something going on with that senior, junior, the third, the fourth, whatever. They do it in the reverse. You got that? Maria Pia, Maria Dia, Maria Sia, whatever. Anyway, these are the daughters and all that. They come. There's a son and somebody else. Anyway, they're emerging now. They want the jewels back. They're saying that this stuff belongs to us still as the royal family. They're saying, hey, it belongs to the state, to the people, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I'm reading all this because I'm looking, saying that time frame is in effect with them kings of the earth, with that power, where they're looking for things. Because when it goes down, nobody wants to be left behind. You hear what I say? The company that I subcontract to, the old man, the founder of it, finally transferred ownership and power to the son. So the son being 39 years of age, you know, everybody else now trying to clamor to get in good graces with him. They want to be seen or notified. This is the way families are now. They know that a king is coming. He ain't a righteous king, but he's going to do what they want done. So they're all trying to shift and get positions and power and authority in place. They're waiting for old girl to drop on the other segment of the planet so that they too can set up a king, because they ain't had a king in well over, what, 60 years? 70? She been on the throne 70 years. That's a crying shame, man. She's strong. She's strong as a horse now. She's just there, ain't she? Shut up. Get out. You're in the royal family. You ain't. Take his title. Get this from. Take that from. What you down there doing? What to those young girls? Take his title. Give me my ink pen back. She just got that kind of power. But one has been cool. He just let, yes, mommy, yes. Everything she said, he's done it because his thing is, hey, I'm going to get this throne now for sure. You done messed up. See, you shouldn't have been with Epstein, all that stuff. You got to know the numerical value of them and how they come into play. If this one don't get it, that one knocked off, next one in line, this, that. They're waiting. Yahweh's people that know prophecy should be waiting too. You sit back, you watch some things. So I'm going to try to break something down for us. I told y'all for you all as we draw closer to the feast days of Almighty Yahweh. We are readying ourselves. We know and understand. I was looking at something beautiful. Keep this in mind. The feast of Almighty Yahweh all fall in the warm season, in the summer months, or there's scripture don't speak in spring and fall, but then when winter and summer shall it be. But the Kodesh days of Abba Yahweh fall in that warm season. And if you look at this calendar very close, I'm saying, look at this calendar, and I'm pointing to the map. Forgive me, y'all, because I noticed everybody's eyes shifted at the same time. If you look at this calendar, I have it here. I see the cover of it, don't it? Yeah, come out. Look, it's coming out. Everybody coming out. It's like having 4 children. You ask one of them come in, all the other 3 come running. Anyway, if you look at this, and you look at the calendars of the world, you're going to see something real interesting. The so-called spring season starts right while we're in the Pesach.
That's true.
The so-called fall season comes just as we close out Tabernacle. No, you don't have to do it. But just as we close out in Tabernacle. So you want to understand your harvest and summer season. You want these things to be right because you want to be as near the proper season and the time of the approach of Yahshua as you can. You want to be on it, okay? You don't want to go to work late. Well, let me word that properly. Some of us do want to go late, myself included. I'm dead serious, myself included. You ever been there where sometimes you just don't even want to bother people? You just, man, I don't even feel like this. So you catch yourself leaving home at 7:30, flying 90 miles an hour, trying to get to work by 7 o'clock. It just don't work, right? But anyway, we want to be in the proper time and season with Yahweh, just as we want to be in that kingdom age prior to that great white throne. We don't want to be in that second resurrection. We want to hit the first one. Yisrael, let's turn. Let's go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 2. Let's work our way through Yahweh's word here. Pardon me. Calm down, be patient, and continue in the straight and narrow path. You hear me? A lot of people today are looking, this is not to condemn us, this is to acknowledge the signs of the time. A lot of us now, we're looking for so much excitement in Yahweh. But when we don't get that excitement, I remember a young brother, his grandfather was preaching, he's running the service, and they did what we call then a little testimony service. And he wanted his grandson to stand up and testify. Grandson really had no testimony. He didn't really want to stand up and say anything. He was just thankful to be alive. So when he did stand up and testify, he said, well, I thank Yahweh to be here. I thank him for my life. And this week, nothing special happened. I just thank him to be alive. And he sat back down. Funniest thing I had heard. And it's something because it made perfect sense. He didn't have this great grand testimony. I was on my way to school and I saw a bush on fire. And the bush said, come here, I'm going to make you the second Moses. And it just started talking, he said nothing special happened. We get bored. We think because we know Yahweh, we got to have all this. A lot of times, I talk to people all the time. They always tell me what Yahweh told me. Yahweh told me this. He told me that. He told me. Yahweh told me, put some gas in the car. Yahweh told me, go over there and pay your phone bill. And I'll be like, well, what in the earth now did your spirit tell you to do? Because see, you hurt that brother or that sister. You didn't apologize. You didn't do anything. Or you went around the corner and you cheated that store owner. You bought, I don't know, 5 cookies and you paid for 2. So what did the Ruach tell you then? And I'm not saying y'all was not dealing with Yisrael. I'm saying people are always saying it as if he's dealing with them on the level that he's dealing with the prophets. Yahweh has to reveal a thing. Scripture says, surely Yahweh Elohim will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophet. It's no big secret for you to put gas in your car. Hey, Yahweh ain't got to speak to you. You keep driving it long enough, what's it going to do? It's going to run out of gas, right? So Yahweh ain't got to tell you put no gas in. Your spirit lets you know, all right, now look, you can pull on and put some gas in this thing, right? And your belly get to talking. Do you ever had that conversation with your body? Well, you wasn't talking, but your body was letting you know, all right now, we empty down here, send a little something down. Your body get them, it make noise in front of people, right? And they like, is that your stomach? Makes you think it's me. It is me, you know. Yahweh speaks to Israel through his word. And it's a funny thing how we're never listening. I'm not saying Yahweh ain't dealing with Israel as a nation, but I'm saying we don't want to make the whole nation. I know the scripture says we're a nation of kings and priests, but you're going to have to understand what that really means. I'm going to draw all this out in this message today, because if this role for you ain't played out in this lifetime, calm down. You hear me? Don't worry about it. I didn't make valedictorian in my graduating class. It didn't make a world of difference to me. I did not care. You hear what I'm saying? I knew one thing. There were things that I knew that the valedictorian didn't know. There was stuff I could do that the valedictorian could not do. And I understood that's their role, that's my role, that's this role. So that's what you tell Yahweh's people. Calm down. We all got this one role. We got to do it. And he didn't make that role competitive. He said, for all of us, reverence Yahweh and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. You understand? It ain't no commandment where I got to compete with Brother Lord. I got to race to beat him here just to prove I'm keeping it. Calm down. Let's get here. Let's do what we're commanded to do, right? I ain't got to get home and race to eat my food, wipe my plate, and cleaner than my wife. She looked at me real funny, like, what? Go ahead, let me hear this one. But to wipe my plate cleaner than she wiped hers, it's not a competition. We're all cooperative because we got the same rules. What I love about Yahweh is that he is so humble. As far as the humility, and we know the definition of humility, Yahweh is so meek, so patient, so long-suffering, that there are times where he allows his messengers to talk with him because even they get confused. And when he talked with them and asked one of the messengers, he says, now why are you throwing words around as if to confuse me? And I'm gonna try to read that to you because the messenger was asking him some serious questions. And Yahweh's response was, now why are you throwing words around as if you are going to confuse me? Now that's serious that you can talk with the Almighty like that without getting out of hand. But the conversation was so beautiful between Yahweh and this messenger that as it works its way into this lesson, it can teach us all, let's calm down now. Okay, I see this now. You're not rushing to bring the commandments. No, I don't care if I was reading early in the week. I think I read it out, quote out of the book Wednesday, how a Christian preacher wrote a book. And one thing he was telling the people was that when Yahweh called the messenger, he was a prophet, it was an honor to be that. And people knew it was an honor because Yahweh established a presence around that prophet in such a way where all the people around knew it. But false prophets desired that same type of honor. So then they kept emerging and popping up too. Now get this point. All false prophets ain't coming along telling 100% lies. Because see, if you and I know the truth, then 100% lies automatically discounts them. So now the false prophet has to, like his father the devil, work as near like the true messengers of Yahweh as he can in order to make the counterfeit nature of his mission work. Are you hearing me? So don't count them, don't play them cheap like they can't tell some truth. But it's just certain things of a real messenger of Yahweh, as well as a real prophetess of Yahweh, as well as a real child of Yahweh, that the world cannot do. Yahshua used a specific word, told the apostles, you that have been with me in the regeneration. We're going to define what a regeneration is. Because it's more than just waking up the nation of Israel, talking to the people, telling them they're Israel. Okay, let's be real. Some of us are just as vile as any and everybody out in the street. And then some of them out in the street are so kind and so humble, so sincere, they don't know how to seek out Yahweh. But they're living what they're living because it is what Yahweh put in their lives. What did I say about spirits earlier? Spiritual conditions, a lot of times, we don't even recognize it. So that's the type of spirit Yahweh put in somebody that's poor, homeless, that's hungry, that's ragged, that's naked. And then we say we know Yahweh, and we're arrogant, and we're cocky, and we're high-minded. How are we, or how have we been regenerated? You get it? See, to be regenerated, there is a new birth. You can't be a gossip and serve Yahweh 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That spirit has to flee. You can't be a liar. You can't be a cheat. You've taken on a new way and you come to a new level of understanding. That's why I get on you all about being airheads. You don't want to be no airhead Israelite where you just going through the motions every Shabbat. 11 o'clock service start. You going through it, but no semblance or substance or form or no value of Yahshua takes hold of your life. Somewhere along the line, somebody wasting time, and I know it ain't Yahshua. You hear what I'm saying? This is why Yahweh's people can be real with one another. They ain't got to put on Shalom, brother. How are you? Now, I don't talk like that 6 days a week. Why today? Shalom. Shalom. Praise him. Say, where the hell he get that French accent or that South Baltimore, whatever. You understand? You can be you because now the true man is taking over. That old nature gonna go, the desire to smoke a cigarette, the desire to drink alcohol, the desire of pornography. He's gonna take that. He's gonna rejuvenate. He's going to remake you. That's why he told him, you're gonna sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, because as they were in the regenerative process, they, us, them, we too have sinned. And we're going to be judged according to it. That's what will put us in our various positions in the kingdom age. Are you hearing me? Because even the lowest of the low in Israel, having been judged by the apostles and put in their position to occupy the kingdom age, still have to teach the world. They got to teach the Gentile nations. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
That's why I say this ain't nothing to play with. That's why a lot of times people want to smart talk you, want to fuss and fight and argue with you. People, you got to learn real quickly, cut them loose. It's almost like the football player, he running down the field. He get to stiff arm him a little bit. They trying to tackle him. He get to stiff arm him a little bit, but it's a limitation to how he do it. And that's how we got to be with many that are saying they're Israel, but no real proof comes forward. We try to push one another. We try to encourage one another. We have to just simply be real. We have to strive. And if you keep showing up, then there's got to be a reason why you keep showing up. If you keep tuning in, then there has to be a reason why you keep tuning in. Because see, as I always say, who would want to mess it up after so much is taught? When you start looking at it and saying, no, wait a minute, that verse hit on me. So you mean I ain't supposed to do that? You now can't get mad with Yahweh and keep doing it and keep telling yourself you're his. Now you got to stop it. And all that Yahweh commanded Israel to do. There's one point about it all that we forget. And you know what that point is? All that Yahweh commanded Israel to do. It was within our power to do it. Every one of us. So stop that old, I can't stop this, I can't stop. You can't stop because you don't want to stop. This ain't Bad Boy Records, all right? This ain't no can't stop, won't stop, don't stop. Stop that. We really do have the power to overcome it. We got to know what it is. And don't say, no, that ain't the right spirit in me. That ain't right. And that's the beauty of life in Yahshua. We have the power to do it. I was looking at something real interesting. I don't want to condemn it, brother, but I'm going to bring this up. You need to go check yourself. Now, there's a brother, he called me a jackass on the channel a while back. I said something he didn't know, didn't understand, but he called me a jackass, blah, 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 blah. Geno Jennings hates the Israelite community. Geno Jennings fight the Hebrews like you wouldn't believe. And brother, I was on your page the other day because you sent somebody as a so-called friend request on mine, but I went to their page and saw they were connected to you and led me back to your page. And I looked up and saw your little prayer on your page for Geno Jennings. That y'all would bless him and uplift him. And I said, quote, damn, look at this. I done seen too many videos where Geno done went at the Hebrews. You using the Hebrews book, buddy boy. You see, people are afraid to debate him because he come off so cocky. And so a man like him, before you walk up on him and go debate, you pray. You ask Yahweh wrap you with such a power of his mighty presence and confound that evil spirit. You can get in the presence of somebody like him, he can't even get his words together. See, no Hebrew with the power of Yahshua ever really did it. That's why the devil's children sometimes can run down on you and do the stuff they do. That's why they can overpower you sometimes, because you ain't wrapped like you ought to be. Because no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Yeah. None. Drop the damn nuclear bomb right at your front door. Blow up the world. Your house still standing, because Yahweh said, not so. It is that type of power in Yahweh. Yeah. But I say, damn. Yeah. You praying for him, and he hate you. Now, if Yahweh choose to wake him up down the road, that's Yahweh and Yahweh alone. But all of that old praying for the world and all of that, that's not exactly what the scripture means when it says pray and lift up hands, holy hands for men. You got to watch what it means. You got to pay attention to the pattern of the Torah. Because the 10 nations that surrounded Israel and was always trying to destroy, suppose Israel had prayed that they were being blessed. If you're praying that your enemy be blessed in all his works and your enemy trying to destroy you, what does that say about your prayer? In the end, when the prayer comes to pass, the enemy going to thank, he not going to stand and say hallelujah. He going to thank whatever the name of his God is that he wiped you out. But yet you went to your grave praying that he be blessed in his victory. Tell me that make any kind of sense. Now you all see why I preached on the mannerism of men. Because see, it's just certain things real men just don't do. It's just certain things. You look at a man and realize that ain't something a man will do. Especially a man of Yahweh. Zechariah chapter 2. Verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Are you hearing this now? Who is Zion? Israel, Yahweh's people, his people in his castle. Who is the daughter of Babylon? That's the ruling nation that has all policy of Babylon, all the public display, all the arrogancy of it. You're now with the daughter of Babylon. Look, Babylon was gone by the time some of the prophets came along, but they kept referencing Babylon. So now, here you and I are. Far too many people in the world, even the rappers rapping and talk about America as Babylon. So now that ain't even no big secret, okay? So now you are right here in the midst of it. And he says, deliver yourself. Everybody's new teaching now is let's go to Africa. Let's get up. Let's go to Africa. Let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, wait now. I thought Yahshua himself said that if they persecute you in this city, flee to another city. For you shall not be gone over to the cities of Zion till the Son of Man be come. Okay? So though we don't like the conditions or whatever it is, why don't we stop and look at the fundamental cause of the condition? The fundamental cause of it was our transgression of the Torah. Okay? So we're here, we're paying for it, and there's no way out of it. I ran down Cold Spring Lane the other day. I jumped on 83 trying to make a quick trip cross town. But once I got off the exit ramp, all the traffic was backed up. I was like, oh, man. I wanted to put it in reverse and back up so bad, but you know that's illegal on that ramp. I ain't do it. I wanted to so bad. I just sat there for a few. And then the cars came on down on the ramp behind me, which meant I had to get off the ramp. So I spent the half hour in the traffic. But once you're in it, you got to go through it to get through it, right? So I'm using a traffic jam as the same way to explain to the children of Israel, the sins of our fathers, Yahweh said, I'll visit that upon the children to the third and fourth generation. So we don't know what the third and fourth generation that preceded us did, that we're going through that, because they were paying for the sins of the third and fourth generation, first, second, third, fourth, that preceded them. And it keeps on going all the way back to the foothills of Sinai when Yahweh said that to us. So nobody can rush this and get it over with, which is why I always say, calm down, be patient. But when you're learning how you are commanded to walk, what's the rush? Right? You know what we want? We want to be that basketball all-star. We want that slam dunk where we done dunked and lived so right. We pull the goal down and the fiberglass breaking all over the field and it just in the game because we kept the command. That's what we as Hebrews be looking for. That ain't what Yahweh said, dude. Calm down. The 2 points you looking to make might be a lousy little layup. And it might have been a fluke, come off your finger wrong, but yet it still went in the basket, and it was still 2 points. Right? You might not get the 3-pointer. You might not get that dunk where you just bung the goal down, then game over with. Well, we was winning anyway, so it don't matter. We won, I got the last, but calm down. Right? A touchdown in the football game is a touchdown. No matter how they do it, it's still a touchdown. It ain't no more points because he did it so dramatically. It's 6 points, then he got to kick the extra conversion and make it 7, right? It don't be, oh man, he jumped over him 10 feet. He was so high in the air, make that 9 points. It don't work that way. A score is a score, right? So you got your whole life. Serve Yahweh if you ain't make nothing but layups. Notice my careful use of the word layups. I don't know why I'm even on sports, but if you don't do nothing but serve Yahweh and make all layups, they count. The Apostle Paul talked about the layups. All the layups that he made helped him, and he declared to the people, as he wrote, there is henceforth laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which Yahweh, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. Make sense? So stop going for the 3-pointer. You get the 3-pointer, you get it. You don't. You get the layup, you get the layup. You get the jump shot, you get it. Calm down. This is what allows you to enjoy life in Yahweh. Calm down. Eat your food. How many people eat fast when you eat your food? People be like, nah, you ain't setting me up for that. I know right where you're going. Yeah, you get indigestion by that. I eat, they give us a half hour, you got to take a half hour. I usually take my whole half hour. I chew my food slow. I take my time. I try to enjoy my food. That's why if you notice, I don't eat around y'all, because when I'm around y'all, I'll sit and talk. Then I won't eat. Y'all food gone. I got a whole plate. I'm sitting there explaining something. Because we love each other so much. I'm going to sit with Elder. I'm going to talk with Elder. And Elder sit there and love you talk. But then I don't get to eat because I'm beating up my gums. Right? So I go sit down by myself, eat nothing standoffish. I eat. So I learn. You don't even really get to appreciate your food, showing out till you take your teeth and smash all of whatever it is you eating to a degree where you beat all the seasoning out of it and taste all the flavor of it. Who in the world could have invented the human body, gave it a tongue, gave it taste buds, put all the herbs and all the seasonings out in the universe, made everything so well, made the little animals that will be willing to lay down their life that you might eat them and enjoy life. What the hell are you in a hurry for? Right? Take your time. Enjoy life. You ever took your time and just outside, just breathe in, well, what fresh air we do have in this earth. But I was on the job one day last week. It snowed. Monday morning, was it? It snowed something fierce. And I was like, all right, we're going to go home on this one. This is beautiful. Yeah, I'm going back in the house. Yeah, right. The snow lasts for a little less than an hour. But where I was, it gave the ground about a good inch of a dusting. But I was sitting in the truck praying for us as Yisrael, for people that will come unto Yahweh, that in the end of the prayer, I remember the closing benediction that Aaron was to give unto Yisrael. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And as I was getting out the truck, I said, that's beautiful. Because just like Yahweh said, at the appointed time, the sun, meaning this son, shall arise with healing in his wings. And I shut the door. I said, where are my keys? I ain't locked. Found my keys. And I looked up. The sun came out from behind the clouds. So quickly, so swift, I said, Yahweh give me a sign. That's testimony, answer prayer. And I shot a picture of it and posted it just for Israel to see. I put it up on my page. I said, you got to see what I seen. It was, the picture did no justice to what I saw with the natural eye. And I realized we ain't seen nothing yet. The beauty of Yahweh's creation is all torn down. I don't care how beautiful the clouds and the sun and everything is. The beauty of it is torn down in comparison to what he made and is going to remake for us. He did not lie when he said, I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, you may be also. That's serious, man. You know the one thing I love most about Yahshua and the Ruach HaKodesh? Tell me the one thing that you think I should love most about it.
That's right.
Get that man a steak. You heard him? He spoke to us by two immutable things in which it was impossible for him to lie. So how do Hebrews reject one of the immutable things in which it was impossible for Yahweh to lie, and now they be telling the truth? Think about that. They can't reject him and be telling you the truth. But though they name the name of Yahweh, and some of them even take on the name Yahshua, which is crazy. You reject him, but you will name yourselves in the assembly and reject the Messiah. Revelations 18:4 tells Israel, come out of her, my people. You're coming out, first and foremost, you get your mind right. Get your head right. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations. Stop right there. Did you hear what he said? Thus saith Yahweh, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. Was this Zechariah going to the nations? Or was this one of the two immutable things that he spoke to us by, and it was impossible for him to lie? You hear me? Isn't that beautiful? He said, Yahweh have sent me. You go get my honor. Go get glory unto my name. Go out there and show them how it's done. And this is how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
He going to bust them down so bad. They getting sick and tired of each other. Y'all seen them in Canada? Have y'all been paying attention to the Canada truck rebellion, the riots or whatever? See how they just getting sick of each other up there? They getting sick of each other. Ain't none of us ruling. Sorry, you got the little mayors in these little towns around here. You got your little aldermans or whatever it is, and killing each other or whatever. It ain't us ruling. And it's them that's ruling the world, that's looking around at them that's ruling the world. And even them is getting tired of them. Them can take a video down that talk about them, but them can't get on them knees and repent to them. You hear me? Take it down all you want. Y'all gonna take you down. He gonna delete you because you have violated his community rules. You keep it up, you bastards. I said you bastards. B-A-S-T-A-R-D-S. I hope I spelled it right. And if I spelled it wrong, good. But you see, we are afraid to talk back to the world. We're afraid to talk to them because they expect us to honor them in all things. You hear what I say? They expect us to honor them in all things. Come on now. We're going to honor Yahweh.
Yeah.
For he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye. Isn't that serious? Notice how in school children used to take a little red apple to the teacher? This was back in the olden days. At least 20 years ago. Young people see, to young people, the olden days was last week. Ain't that how it worked? Shoes and stuff now. This generation, they the same way. Cars and stuff now. What's this, 2022? If your car's a 2020, your car old. That's how we are in the world. They got us now so consumeristic that we need everything new. And the new stuff ain't good as the old stuff. Right? Young children. Who the youngest child in the building? See, young children, right? Now, who the oldest adult in the building? Okay. Now, what the young children got on y'all? The younger children, but they ain't held a job yet, right? They ain't paid a single piece of rent yet. Ain't been to market, ain't bought a single steak, ain't grew a vegetable, none of that, right? Can't be better than those that preceded you, because now those that preceded you got a lot to tell us. That's the way we are as Yahweh's people. We in the world right now, we think because we're new to this, we really got something to say. Till the trials and the tribulations hit, now we don't know how to handle it because we've never paid attention to the pattern of behavior for those that served before us. You read up on the faith, Hebrews chapter 11, anybody that newly converted to this way of life, Hebrews chapter 11 should be pasted to your forehead. Because it tells you about the faith of all the patriarchs and the matriarchs of old. It tells you about that. You want that type of faith. Does not the book of Yahudah teach us to earnestly contend for the emunah, or the faith that was delivered to the Kedushim of old, right? Can you pray out in the cold when you're homeless that Yahweh warm the atmosphere for you? Can you, we're going to need that type of faith. Can you get down to the water and be panicked and not know what to do, and yet be so favorable with Yahweh? He's telling you, what are you calling me for? Go and lead the people. You stand and realize, ain't no way to lead them. We here at the water. Yahweh made everything in this earth. I'm going to say this one real slow. He made everything in this earth to bow down before you. Everything. We don't know the power of Yahweh, and how sometimes we try to give that power and credit to the Lord, to the mailman, to different people. A man gave me credit this week for having saved another man's life. And I said to the man, well, don't give me credit. Give the credit to Yahweh. I know why I was led to start doing what we were doing. We tore down 4 buildings. It was this double wide, almost like our assembly here, double wide building. It was a church, and 2 houses were connected to it. And they told me that the day before that we were scheduled to go there. He said there were some homeless people in there, so you all might want to check before you all start demo and make sure that they're not in there, because they're going to go back in. Even though we ran them out and fenced it off, they climbed the fence, cut the holes in, and they'll go back in. So that morning, I was out there. It was dark. Sun hadn't come up fully. I had the flashlight. I was looking around, surveying it, and I was banging on the door, notifying anybody in there. Come out. Demolition starts. We'll start at 7:30. Get your stuff. Come out. Went through all. And the man said, "Brother, don't go in there, because if you go in the floors, anything could be weak." Said, "Can't afford to lose you. No, I wouldn't want you anything happen to you." He said, "If it was so and so walk up in there, I wouldn't say nothing. I'd let him go. Can't afford to lose you." True story. That's what he said. So I didn't go in. But when I got to that old building that was a church, I looked at plenty of space. He could have got on the side and started there first, did whatever it was he could have did. I looked at the other one that was up there. It was extremely tight. And I looked at the conditions of the abandoned buildings, and I was thinking, I said, now if I were homeless and had to go into an abandoned building to stay, I wouldn't go in this one. I wouldn't go in this one. And even though they don't know Yahweh in the church, I would go there first. So do me a favor, move the machine up the street. Start on that house on the corner. That way, if there's anybody in there, they give them time to come out. We started at 7:30, smashing, busting the roof, tearing it down, going at it. It takes 15, 20 minutes if you really want to, just tear them down. 10 o'clock, this little homeless man jumped up out the back of the church. He came out with his bags and all his little possessions, what have you. And he said, y'all really tearing them down? We were on the second house, getting into the third house, which was double wide like this, which you would count it as 3 and 4. We had just started on it, and he came running out. But all that noise we made and all that rattling, for some reason or another, where there was plenty of space to start there, I told him, start on that end. I thank Yahweh for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, see, the Lord was with you, brother. I said, no, I don't know the Lord. But I know Yahweh led me to tell you, start up on that end right there. And I know you were complaining because it was tight and you couldn't see like you wanted to. But I was thinking on a different scale than my average brother was thinking. And I thought about it because, see, if it ever gets tight in times like that or situations like that, let's be honest, Israel. Some of these people in these poor little places, these little churches and different things, the olden days, I'm going to go back at least 50 years now. The older churches had a format. They were sincere. Even in many instances, never having used the name of Yahweh, those little people were trying to stick to the standards of the book and the doctrine as best they could. Some of them, too, are going to get a second chance. Yahweh's going to have mercy on whom he will have mercy. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
And that's why I said, if I were homeless, I wouldn't go in that building there. And I wouldn't go in that one. And I thought about it. I said, do you know this is not a temple of Yahweh, but it's an abandoned church. Benches are in there. What little I looked and saw with bathrooms, all this stuff. I said, now that would be a sign. Windows were fairly decent. But whatever the case, I was right. He went into a sanctuary. And it saved his life. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
The scripture teaches us that the name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. We have no idea how Yahweh is going to have such mercy on people of the world. Let's get into this. For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. Isn't that serious? They're going to be a spoil. But you know what? Let me do this. Y'all would lead me to do this. Let's back up a little bit. Go to Isaiah real quick. 42. I want y'all to hear this. See, if this man says, after the glory have Yahweh sent me unto the nation, what's he going out there to do? I like this part. Isaiah 42, start right at the 1st through the 9th verse. Look, listen to this. Behold, my servant, or my Ibed, whom I uphold. See that? Whom I uphold. Mine elect, that is my Bekir, in whom my soul, that is my nefesh, delighted. I have put my ruach upon him. He shall bring forth judgment, or mitzvah, to the Gentiles. See how once they get beat down so bad, so torn out, they ain't getting no justice from their own people. They ain't getting no justice from Putin, no justice from Biden and all that. Have y'all really paid any attention to Biden since he's been president? You ever see how crazy he is? Sometimes he just snap off on little issues. Have y'all really been paying any attention? To see the subtlety of it, he worse than Trump. The subtlety of it is he works than Trump. And we ain't seeing it because we just been taught, vote Democrat. Vote for the Democrat. You know, nobody ever said, well, why am I even voting at all? Nobody dare say that because that ain't the rule. You don't go against the grain. They say jump off the side of the mountain. Why should I jump? Shut up and jump. Did you see all them over there jumping? Oh yeah. Boop. Off the side they go. We're not paying attention. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. See, he ain't got to do it. That's our job. It's the same book. You flip up a few chapters later, it says, cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions. In the house of Jacob, their sins. You show Israel where they're sinning or where they're wrong or they're in error, they get mad with you. No, they do. They start looking for yours. Well, if you look for anybody's sin long enough, you're going to find it. Okay, but now that you found it, are you Yahshua? Can you wipe it away? They looking at you, looking at theirs, they looking at yours, they ain't saying nothing. All have sinned and come short. Of what? There's that word, the kabbalah, the glory. We've all come. Yahweh said, no, you go get it. Go bring my glory. Here comes a man going to be so perfect, so upright, so honorable in all his ways. There's nothing negative you'll be able to say about him when he comes. You understand? He will not stumble. He will not fail to do justice. He will not be drunk. He will not be a womanizer. He's coming. And Yah's going to let this world become so degenerative that again, he says, after the glory hath he sent me. They're going to look for a man like this. This is why in Hollywood they're always praying with this movie. Notice in Hollywood all the black men always saving them all the time. Now, can you picture me in a Hollywood movie? Make the movie real life, but picture me in the movie. My attitude. After all they done, picture me having to save them. I'm flying in Independence Day in an airplane. I'm going to shoot the last alien that's going to save all of them. Now, wait a minute. Y'all did this to my people. You did that. Hey, man, they over there. Go get them. You understand? Now, I'm saying that facetiously to let you know that their imagery shows that one of us got to step up and save them. Now, if I'm lying, y'all got to answer some questions like, why are we always security guards? Why do I always got to watch over your stolen stuff? Think about it. You stole all this stuff and you're going to sell it to me for triple the cost and hire me to watch it. Sometimes you don't even want to give me a gun. You give me a flashlight. What am I, a parliament security guard or something? How does this work? That one. Flashlight. That record got me in trouble in the 70s, man. My father didn't play that. Flashlight came out. Cut that junk off. But let's not be so quick to diss what George Clinton said. Because he did say everybody's got to fight.
Yes, sir. Under the sun. Yahshua.
You had to listen to what he was saying.
Yes, sir.
Till they got off track with that devil stuff. But you had to listen. Anyway. We always get to watch their stuff. And if we don't watch their stuff, you know what else they have us do? They pay us to cook their stuff. How are we so degenerate if you put us in two of the most dangerous jobs in society? All over the world. So now look, here's the deal, man. My boys is coming to rob the place at 4. I'm security. They know I'm going to let them in. Then you in the back cooking. So go ahead and put the poison in their food, knock them out, or whatever the case may be. And then we're going to rob the place. You're in the perfect position to get them. But you can tell that there must be something distinctively different about our nature versus their nature because you put us in these positions and we serve you quite well. Think about it. Serve you quite well. You even steal our secret recipes and say it's yours, 11 herbs and spices. When, come on now, Harlan, you got taste buds where you're going to put 11 herbs and spices together. And you're going to make it taste like, come on now. Come on, Harlan. I'm not buying that. Burger King. Come on now. Genghis Khan and all of them rode their horses. They didn't stop to eat nothing. They bit the horses on the side of the neck and sucked the blood and kept on going. There wasn't no salt, no pepper on the horse. Bit the blood, bit them and kept on going. China put up the Great Wall of China because they didn't like them. They said you could smell them. And history said they could smell them 1,000 miles away. Damn, that's a stench. You put up a wall so amazing that it's one of the great wonders of the world. Man. And yet after all that, even some of their children going to come to their senses and serve Yahweh. That's why I tell even the little whites that's on the channel and listen to sermons like this, they got some strong little feelings because some of the stuff I say sometimes, I got to get down on their brothers just like I get down on my brothers. Now when I get down on my brothers get mad. See, they talk back to me. They text me nasty little stuff, or they buck and they say things. But most of the white folk, they don't say nothing. They take it. I've gotten letters. One woman of Yah, she said, Elder, some of them things are downright rough and tough, but it is the truth. And I need that in order to save my soul. My respect levels went through the roof. That is the truth. People know and understand. And as we come to see, you can't get rid of racial tension, hatred, and animosity until there be some reconciliation. Check this out. Check this out. Ooh, this is so beautiful. Hallelujah. He said, after the glory, Yahweh sent me. But check this out. Did you know that once he arrests all this nonsense in the earth and bring peace, that even the Gentile nations, the redeemed of the earth, are going to break forth with such joyous singing and praise unto Yahweh Yahshua? You hear what I just said? They're going to sing. You know Israel going to sing praises to him. But so too will the Gentile nations. But the main attraction in the midst of all that singing ain't Israel. It ain't the Gentile nations. It's Abba Yahweh himself, who says that he shall rejoice over you with singing. That's serious. Mom Gay ain't got nothing to do with this. Whitney Houston, no, you out the box. What's that old fake girl, Mariah? All y'all gone sit down. Cardi B, Cardi XY, whatever. Go sit down. He's going to rejoice over you with singing. And if he is the beauty of holiness, we use that word for the moment. If he is the beauty of it and the epitome of it all, then how can his voice not match it when he's restored the beauty of Israel in the earth? And you out here cutting up, acting stupid. I can't do it. Sure you can. Right?
Yes, sir.
When I was young, we were in the assembly. We used to take turns reading. It's chopping everybody. We reading. Got to my turn. I was sleepy. I can't do it, my father. Shut up! You can't do it. Now read! So I'm confused for a split second. Wait a minute. He said, shut up. He said, you can do it. Now read. Now see, that's how the devil works. He make you get analytical. You said, shut up. He said, I can do it. He said, now read. Which is, you know them old parents? Watch the older people. Watch this. Remember them old parents when you cutting up and they whoop you and you try to be tough? Take it. Oh, you can't cry? So then you start faking tears and make them get up off of you. What they say?
Shut up.
Shut up! Right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll give you something to cry for. Right?
Yes, sir.
Remember them days? Well, look at your children now. Hey, you don't give them nothing to cry for. You don't say nothing to them. They do what they want to do. I know a young man years ago, he ran his mother out the house. Went off and out, ran out front. She came out front and was embarrassed. My mother and them looking at her. I'm thinking to myself, nothing. I'm looking at my mother. I'm thinking to myself, let me try some crap like that. My mother had these little fat, stubby hands. You know them little hot dogs, them little knockworks, them beef knockworks. My mother had 5 of those connected to her palm of her hand. Let me try some crap like that. But they get away with it today because we do not talk to them about the beauty of Yahweh. I had a beautiful conversation with my 5-year-old grandson this week. He was cutting up. He did something. His grandmother got down on him and rebuked him, but it hurt his little feelings. And he was crying. He couldn't stop crying. And I ain't pet him up, but I was over there near him and I was talking to him. And he says to me, "What's the matter with me?" He says, "Were you like this as a child?" And that caught my attention. That humbled me. So now I'm sitting face to face with him. I'm fighting back tears. And you know what I said to him? I said, yes, I was. I was a bad little boy too. But somebody kept praying for me. And they kept teaching me Yahweh's word. And that's why I always stay on you. Do you understand me now? He said, yeah. I said, wipe your eyes. I said, your little feelings hurt, you get over that. And there'll come a day when Yahweh will bless you. You may rise up to do something great, but honor him all the days of your life. And this conversation between the two of us lasted for about 10 minutes because he was on the floor laying on his belly, arm folded, looking at me, and I'm on my belly, arm folded, talking to him. It was the most frightening thing, but it was a moment to teach a child something. Because when my father got on me and rebuked me for cutting up as a child, it was my grandmother who said something that saved me. She said to my father, "Well, that's because he's just like you." And that stopped my father dead in his tracks. My point is, as adults, we know right from wrong. So then we want our children to do it. But sometimes we always do it from the discipline aspect. But sometimes we need to get up close and personal and talk to them. God teach them. And when my grandmother said that, my father said, "Get up over here. Get over here and sit down." I told you about that before. His voice got real soft. And when my grandson said that to me, I remembered that with my grandmother and my father. She said, "He just like you." And over the years, she would tell them stories of his little bad stuff that he did. I admit it. My father wasn't a person where he had to lie and hide his life, whatever. He wasn't that type of person. But it was, well, don't be bringing that junk up. That was when I was a child. You understand. My grandmother would tell his little stuff that he did because she was trying to draw a picture showing. And she had this saying that would always shut him down. She said, well, yeah, apple don't fall far from the tree. You know, old folks say stuff like that. Grandmother would say, yeah, they say a child gonna represent their pappy somewhere. And it would always work. And I followed his every footstep without intending to do it. From construction to parenthood to the ministry to everything. And he had such a level of compassion and such a love for the people of Yahweh. There's this one difference between he and I. He might have cried for Yahweh's people. He always did it behind closed doors. But I'm on a YouTube channel and I preach to you all and I open my heart to Yahweh's people. I try to hide nothing about my life or anything. It's an open book because you represent Yahweh. No false airs, no false grandeur, none of that. Your life is an open book because Israel is looking at you. And as they're looking, you are standing in the Messiah's stead till he come. And I know a lot of men don't appreciate the things that I say and do to them. You have to chastise them. Sometimes you got to whip us as men in shape. Because when you stop and look at the nation, you look at the children, you look at the babies in the street, you look at the mothers without husbands, and look at the women without housing, forced to look to the government. Whereas we as men, if we got to knock down the boughs of goodly trees to pitch a tent, to do something to keep the elements off the head of our women and children, we got to do that. And men today, just like y'all's word said, they're not willing to do that now. They're not willing to share their resources and to, in fact, give up all that they have, that their women and children might benefit. We're not living like that anymore. But yet, Yahweh gave up his only begotten son. He sent him to us. And we were willing to destroy him. We were willing to sacrifice. We were willing to put him to death. And we even mortgaged the lives and the souls of our children by simply saying, so what? His blood is upon us and upon our children. As if that were a light thing to say. The blood of Yahshua is on us all. Though we were not standing there, that's what our Father said, because of a non-caring attitude towards our Father. We don't know love like we think we do. Most people today, you start talking about love, they think of sex. Straight out the gate, most people, they think of sex. Come on, now how in the world can a John love a prostitute? He just paid her. You understand? He just paid her. I heard a man rationalize something one day, and I stopped. I usually always have an answer. I ain't had nothing to say. He shut me down. I just walk with this foolish man. You know what he told the woman? He wanted to buy her for an hour. Okay, that happens. Let's not act like it don't. It happens. You know what he told? You know what his rationale was for what he was going to offer her? He said, well, how much do you make on your job? An hour. He said, well, see, you don't even make that an hour here. I'm going to give you double. Later that day, I was like, you know, man, I don't want to be self-righteous or overly judgmental of you or anything of that nature, but man, I said, that was real weak what you did to that woman, what you call yourself talking. I'm glad she just walked away from you. I said, I guess so now you don't want to work with me. Now, I hadn't thought of that. I said, you know, come and think about it. You are so right. And the next day, I called that office. Do me a favor, don't send him with me. We don't work together well. Don't send him somewhere else. And he ain't worked with me since. That's our attitude towards each other. We don't know how to help each other, how to love one another. We don't know how to see how much Yahweh, though it's taking its time, he loved us. We don't know. A bruised reed shall he not break. Isn't that gentle? And a smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth mitzvah unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth. And the owl shall wait for his Torah. Isn't that beautiful? A man so upright, so powerful, the nations so beat down, all their global government and political, social, judicial system will have collapsed on them. They'll shut the hell up and wait for him to establish the kingdom. Yahweh's people running around so busy trying to do so much right now. Do you realize Yahshua's coming? He ain't going to just magically poof, poof, I mean, a little bit of fairy dust for you and a little bit. He going to take his time and establish a kingdom on this earth. It is going to be a literal kingdom. People around running their mouth, they want to be here, they want to see it, they want this, that, and that. It's going to be vicious. It's going to be violent. It's going to be bloody. And he talking about they want to see it. He talking about how he going to cut them down, and the righteous is going to be so far, so few in between that even a righteous man won't be able to hide himself because he could be totally different from the world. That's your 144,000. You hear what I say? They will be so upright. No, they won't steal. Everybody else stealing. What's wrong with you? You all right? They over there fornicating. What's wrong with you? He going away from them. Right now, all Israel thinking, we all going to go preach. We're going to. It's so much in Yahweh's word. You listen to them. Most of them, they don't know the word. And them damn Israelite preachers still preaching in Yahweh and in Jesus and all that. I don't even pay them no mind. I don't give a damn what you think of me. You preaching in Jesus, I don't pay you no mind. You'll never go to your channel and look up and see what one like is viewed by Minister John. Not me. Not me. You come up off of that. Most drunks, they don't drink. They either drink white alcohol or the brown. They don't mess with both. Anybody know anything about that? Some of them will tell you, I don't like that white liquor. They think the brown calm them down or whatever the case may be. Whatever. Did anybody, y'all know that? Y'all familiar with that? Okay, good. Y'all ain't drinkers. That's fine. But yeah, I've heard it too. They don't mess with that. Yeah, they like the brown. They say the brown go down smoother. And then something, it has to have a specific color to it.
And they say the white keep you fighting.
Yeah, that's what they say, the white, right? Naughty head. Soon as they drink that naughty head, and that what Seagram's gym was called? Naughty head. And it didn't mean your hair was naughty. It mean you get to fight, you get knots on your head. Y'all didn't know that? Well, oh. Good. You didn't know it. I mean, you ain't been out there. Hallelujah. Don't go looking for it. Good. Some knowing haven't still been out there. You mind if I ask how you know it?
Because I got family don't know.
I'm just messing with you. Y'all heard it, right? I got family. Eh?
I didn't cut mine.
I have family too. One of my uncles one time was talking to Elder Jones years ago. My uncle was drunk as you can be when you're drunk. You take everything out of the Bible except the 10 Commandments. You couldn't live by it. No way. He thought he had made a profound point. Elder Jones was standing just as humble. Elder Jones said, so you can't live by it, huh? No way. Elder Jones just looked at him. That was my own uncle. Elder Jones ain't argue with him. He ain't dispute him and bust him down. Scripture says, a soft answer turns away wrath. You know, sometimes a person say something that sets you off, you gotta catch yourself. Elder Jones just looked. See, a lot of times people, they won't testify against their family. That's me. I ain't got no problem with it. I'll tell you the truth about myself. I got stupid, been out there like that. No, my father didn't play that. If he found out, he gonna get a hold of it. And I thank y'all for having that type of parent. Thus saith Yahweh, the Elohim of Yisrael, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and the spirit to them that walk therein. I, Yahweh, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles. See, our brothers, they thinking they lights to the Gentiles. How you be light to the Gentile when you're darkness in your own house? And that's not slurred. I'm straight out the gate. You got to teach your children Yahweh's word. How you going to be light to the Gentile? You don't even know the law enough to teach your household. You see, brothers get offended with me when I really cut loose in Yahweh's word. No, ain't nobody got no time to be playing with you. Because in Judgment Day, if I was supposed to have told it to you and I didn't, whose blood is that on? See, Israel get offended. They don't want nobody to say nothing. The whiz. Eveline. Don't nobody bring me no bad news. That's us. I've been there. I've been through it. That's how I know to stand in Yahweh's word and preach it strong. Don't matter about nobody's feelings getting hurt. Preach that word strong, because you preach it strong. They can get mad about it. If they're true in Yahweh, they'll go away mad about it, but they'll think on it. And if it hits them and reflects on them, they will get right. If it did not apply, the rule is let it fly. You hear what I'm saying? Me and Brother Tim, we were young men. We'd be talking about different things. El John get right up there and preach it. Nowhere around us. And bring it out. We look at each other like we were crazy. And people get offended. They get mad at the man for hitting on stuff y'all would give them. It's in the word. Man, reading and calling out. Now, you got to be careful messing with the people of Yahweh, because some of them sometimes can see. Some of them can see, and they can see further than the tip of their nose. Some of them can discern. Some of them can get a letter in the mail and open it and read it and feel your spirit on it. Feel your very presence on it. People don't think you can do it. It's all right. People can text you, and you can read it and feel their spirit behind the very text of the message. And people don't think you can do it because they can't do it. You hear what I say? I remember going to a service many years ago. There was an elder. He would always throw slurs and slander, just always had to slam dunk people, but he did not know the word like that. And we knew that. And we were pulling out, going down to the service that day. Dear sister said, now we're going to go over here. He's going to slur and slander today. I said, not today. Not today. We're going through. And as the Bible lesson was being taught, and he was slurring and slandering, until he had the floor open so people could ask questions. So people asked questions and balled them up, hemmed them up, made them look real bad. And the point being, not today. You are not going to be wrong. And then slur and slander and raise your voice and treat the people like they're nobody. Yahweh's people are very precious. And they are so precious, you better not get up before them and not know the word. Because see, when certain issues come up and you don't know how to lead them because you ain't studied the book or read down that far. That's what the woman preacher said one time when hit with a question. She said, well, I don't know. I haven't read down that far. I'm like, what? How the hell are you up there and haven't read down that far? I don't sit in no fellowship now where women are up preaching. I don't disrespect them. I can go to some of these assemblies we're having the woman up there teaching. I'll go outside. I don't play that because there's a spirit behind it.
Correct.
In fact, speaking of spirit, do me a favor, dear daughters of y'all, push your serving time back. Give me one extra half hour. Can y'all do that? Push it back because I'm going to talk to y'all about spirits and gas and break some stuff down. And I'm going to see if they take this video down when I lay this out. See, they hate me because I go get their brother's information. And this is what your brother said. And this is what your brother said you all would do. This is what Yahweh said 1,000 years ago that you all would do. Okay, we here now and we looking at somebody doing it. I know I ain't do it. I know you ain't do it. But now we calling it out and we see it on the news. You get mad. Take that down. So when we go and pray, are we supposed to ask Yahweh? Take them down.
Hallelujah.
Tell him, Brother Tim, we was out preaching in the street. We started off with 4 D batteries and a megaphone. That's how we got people to. We wasn't afraid to go stand on the corner. We came out looking crazy. You say the right stuff. Let me tell you all something about Yahweh's word. That's amazing. When you really start speaking Yahweh's word, far more people out here in these streets, in this world, in this community of different, far more people know and understand it than you think they do. Because when they let on and start listening and start talking to you, you'd be surprised how you done woke somebody up. Many Allah, you wake them up. Please. Man called me the other day. They on talk radio. I just happened to think about you. I'm sitting in the truck talking to him. So I said real quick, well, do me a favor. Don't. Brother, you always got something funny to say. I said, but if you're listening to my voice, I'm not laughing. Because I know you. If you thinking about me, there's some evil behind it. So I'm standing here with my sword drawn. I'm ready to face it now by simply telling you, don't think about me. Let's shut that down. I know what you want. You want me to come on your program and do a radio broadcast and all this stuff. You running with the, what is it? The lesbian, the lettuce, guacamole, bacon and tomato gang. Get the hell out of here. Y'all get that one later. But anyway, I ain't got nothing to talk to you about. Ain't nothing to talk. Now all of a sudden, something was said that reminded you of me. Now you want to hear, nah, when I was there and they were fighting me, you were cheerleading for them. So take your ass back over there and pick your pom-poms up and keep on cheerleading for them.
That's right.
I don't play that. Anyway, I, Yahweh, have called you in righteousness and will hold thine hand and will keep you and give you for a covenant. This is the part I like. Of the people. For a light to the Gentiles. To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sat in darkness out of the prison house. I am Yahweh, that is my name. And my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven image. Did he say Yahweh sent me after the glory? He gonna bring that name, he gonna bring it home. This like a grand slam. Ain't that what they call when the base is loaded? And the one man get up, now he at bat, he hit it, he knock it out the park. Ain't no catching it. All of them, they only had to run now. They just take their time, walk around, and he just made 4 points in one. It's a grand slam. That's why he sent Yahshua. Nobody can do it but him. And he gonna make the world cry out in hunger and thirst after righteousness. I'm so glad Yahweh ain't the God of the Ku Klux Klan. Because we would not stand a chance. Okay? Their history come out. They've done so much to us as people. What's that dear daughter's name? I call her daughter. She's elder. She's a mother now. We all see this picture of this little child going to school with 4 FBI agents surrounding her. What's her name? Is it Linda Brown? Ruby something. Ruby Bridges. Thank you. Who said that? Somebody had the first name, somebody had the last name. There you go. Praise y'all for you both. See that? Y'all bridge the gap. Ruby Bridges. Poor little sister went to the school. They integrated it. Parents was pulling their little children out. She sat in the school by herself, in one class by herself. One teacher taught her. They took all the children out. She ate lunch by herself. Her parents packed her lunch and let her eat her own lunch because they were so afraid that somebody in the school would poison her and would kill her. She had to endure all that. And I don't even think she's 70 years old right now. So that go to show you just how far we've come, or how short of a time frame back that was. Now, these are the same people that call on Jesus. These are the same people that took the word of Yahweh and sealed it, hiding it up. See, it ain't no coincidence that a royal family will pop up now, fighting, want to get their Jews, they want to organize themselves, they want to get themselves ready. While at the same time, in the same year, the news broke that State of Israel, the Vatican, and what's the other gang over in London, arguing about the material, the priestly material that belonged to Israel. Now all of a sudden y'all having a conference and a fight. See how people want to possess your stuff. Because now you ready to get a temple built. Want to fake like you're serving y'all. You really want to pretend that you Yahweh's people. Let me tell you all something. There are angels in this world. Malachim, fallen angels, evil spirits. Those things will get embodied. They'll take a body and seek to get that body baptized. Because they know a little more than you know. They think that when their body get up in that day of resurrection, they got to join themselves to that body and slip back into the kingdom. We ain't paying attention to how they thinking. Just that damn dumb. Remember the ascension of Isaiah? They wanted to know the name of the Messiah before he comes so that they too could call on the name. We're not paying attention. That's why I don't rush to baptize people. Everybody, I'm going to get baptized. I remember man can't hear. I'm going to get baptized. So while he talking, I'm looking at him. But I wasn't just stirring just to be stirring. I was praying. Because I wanted to discern, now what's going on here? Fast track. Want to know everything immediately. Didn't know nothing. But you want somebody slam dunk you. So I never answered yes or no. I just was listening and observed. Got tired of me. Went behind my back. So he go Deacon Reggie. You don't understand that we function here as one unit. You don't come and divide nobody. You go, well, you won't do. I'll go to this one. I'll go to that one. Yahshua said a house divided against itself cannot stand. That's why all of Yahweh's children, you got to be on one accord. I saw the most beautiful thing this week as I was sending out the calendar for the feast days and the beauty of it. Just everybody, this is what I asked Israel to do. Just identify yourself because now I'm getting to know my family. You understand? So those that I had their names programmed in the phone, I done talked with them or we done text, that's family. That's the body. You know who they are. Y'all would bless my little mind. I'm just going through my phone as I see them. Boop, send it to them. Boop, send it to them. Boop. But now if I come across numbers and names that I don't know, people are offended because I say identify yourself. So in sending that out to the family of Yahweh, I was getting some of the most beautiful responses back from people who just want to keep this way of life. It ain't my way. I ain't prescribing. We're just sending out Yahweh's word, and they out trying to get on one accord. We here trying to get on one accord. That's how you get unified. It was so beautiful. I said, look how everybody, they didn't even need to respond. They were just responding. Told y'all, thank y'all. Can you imagine all that spiritual energy when them feast days come? All of us are on one accord, lined up like we ought to. That's what Yahweh wants us to do. Damn it, you mad at me for whipping us in shape? I thank Yahweh for each and every one of you, online and present in the building. I thank Yahweh because you are his precious children. That's what you do. You don't want to mess that up. It was just beautiful. He says here, behold, the former things are come to pass. The new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. I'm telling you, Yahshua gonna set it up. I will say to you all, first and foremost, stop worrying about whether or not you are here to see it, because there's going to be some perilous times. If you pass off the scene in the Messiah, old age or young, natural causes or the other thing, whatever the case may be, if you die in Yahshua, you've hit the goal. Dying in Yahweh ain't a bad thing. Yahshua going to set this earth right, and Yahweh going to embarrass the nation. You're going to honor him, whether you like it or not. I just like the fact, I rejoice, I relish in the fact that I know him now. And ain't gonna sit around as no author, no confusion. We just messed up in the head, thinking we know, right? Those of us that are able to endure afflictions in this lifetime, go look, let's go get it. Isaiah 66. This is for you. This is for me. This is for us. Those of us that are able to endure afflictions and all those heavy burdens that we have to go through, hang in there, for you shall be exalted. You don't have to lift yourself up now. Endure. 66:1. Listen to this. Thus saith Yahweh. Now I like this part because he can't lie. The heaven is my throne. Hallelujah. And the earth is my footstool. Where's the house that you build unto me? And where's the place of my rest? Now this is where it gets interesting. There is a place that Yahweh wants to go to and rest. He says, where's the house that you build unto me? For all those things have mine hand made, and all those things have been, says Yahweh. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor, and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. That is the house that Yahweh wants to rest in. Rest don't mean he's tired. To rest upon you, his ruach. He wants his presence upon Yisrael. He wants it there. Isn't that amazing? Come on, man. It's like a husband that wants his wife to want him back, and her mind on everything else. But yet she come home every day. That ain't making no sense, right? He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. This is the behavior pattern Yahweh says I'm finding among them. He that sacrifices the lamb is as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation is as if he's offered swine's blood. And he that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. Yeah, they've chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abomination. In that Israel today do all kind of stuff and take delight in it. Ain't a man gonna be telling me nothing. He ain't gonna be talking to me like that. He don't tell me nothing. Yeah, you rather endure having a man talk to you like that than Yahweh himself tell you. And people get offended today. Come on, man. We need some drive-by whippings for some of our people. Just load up a minivan, just jump by with a big bunch of Torahs, beat them over their head with it. Act right, do right. Shut that noise up and start crying. Shut up, give you something to cry for. Beat you with the book of Revelation. Got a little carried away. Beat them with the Psalms. I will also choose their delusion. I would say I'll set you off now. Look, don't they think they preachers? Don't they think they righteous? Don't they think their children are perfect? Don't they think their mothers and fathers raised them right? Didn't he know y'all? This is what y'all would say, I will choose their delusion. This is why you see Israel go so far astray. Don't we all have the same book? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Might be different translation, but you got the same book. They're all saying essentially the same thing, right? Right. In your book it says, keep my commandments and live. It's in your book? It's in your book? About your book. It's in them books, right? So we got the word. So how does a nation have so many different doctrines? One Yahweh, one Yahshua, one Ruach. How do we have so many different conflicting doctrines? And yet we all focus. You think Yahweh gonna make up that kingdom with all this crazy Israelite stuff we got going on here, man? One group of brothers believe in wrapping up their head. The other group of brothers don't wear no shoes. Another group of brothers over here, they don't drink milk. Another group over there, they don't eat peanut butter. This group got all kind of little silly. All kinds of silly little doctrine. I'll smooth it over. You know, some of us, we get a little sensitive when we hear certain words. He's cussing again. It's not cussing. In fact, I don't like custard. But anyway, I'm serious. My grandma made egg custard pie and all that stuff. Ooh, just so nasty in your mouth. You know, you're a little kid, little children be truthful, but ooh. You better eat it. And then you sitting there with a mouthful, now you're like. So you at the table, everybody done got up, you still there an hour and a half later. Pie ain't moved. She ain't got no dog or nothing you can slide on the table with, so you end up wolfing it down. And you're still here, so it didn't kill you. But anyway, that's how some people do Yahweh's word. They swallow it down reluctantly. You hear me? That's how they do. This is what you eat. This is your eating. You don't have to literally buy the book and eat it. No, it's this. You take it in. We have to understand that, okay? So Yahweh says, since they're so hard, I will choose their delusions, and I will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but did evil for mine eyes, and chose that in which I did not delight. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let Yahweh be glorified. That's how some people do. I've had them do that here to me. They walk out, leave here, and then act like I'm the one doing wrong. Okay, we all have sinned. But I'm striving here. I'm laboring in the word. How do you straggle in off the street or wherever you come from? How do you wake up to the knowledge of the truth and overnight you know more than the one right there laboring and preaching? You don't find that pattern in the book. So then you got to look at yourself and say, all right, I'm out of order now. But anyway, Yahweh said they'll cut off from you or cast your name out as evil and let Yahweh be magnified. That's what Bubba told me. Let Yahweh will be done. Beautiful. Let his will be done. But now here's what Yahweh says about it. They say, let Yahweh be glorified. It says, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. See how Yahweh works the thing out? So even when you're persecuted from among your own brethren, you got to stand your ground. You got to patiently wait on Yahweh. See, people that are non-spiritual mind, they don't see stuff like that. They only see through the flesh, through the mind. That's why so much gossip, so much backbiting, so much. That's why so much going on, because they have not become that new regenerated creature that is required to make it in. They come out of the church with the same old ways. That's what they do. But well, I was a deacon in the church. I was this. Well, this ain't the church. Now here we have about 50, 60 some kids. Do me a favor. Find one. Put your bumpers in it. And put it in park. There's a reason why you ain't got everybody doing everything. How many people led Israel up out of the land of Egypt to begin? One. Yahweh was talking with him, right? Wasn't there some people behind him running their mouth? Hey, not Yahweh dealt with all of us. Then here come the other gang. All the people are holy. Moses said, okay, well, we're going to see about this. Now let's see if Yahweh do a new thing. If he opened up the earth. So Yahweh opened up the earth. Who did they blame? You killed Yahweh's people. Now they knew in their day, just like we know now. You ain't see Moses with no 956 bulldozer, dig a hole, open up the earth, and throw him in. You knew you didn't. What happened was so profound, it shook them. They knew it was the power of Yahweh, but they blamed the little man of Yahweh. You killed Yahweh's people. Now, why wasn't it a suicide mission? Didn't they kill themselves? And we doing the same stuff today. We're killing ourselves. A voice of noise from the city. A voice from the temple. A voice of Yahweh that rendered recompense to his enemies. Before she travailed, she brought forth. Isn't that something? Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man-child. What a miraculous birth. Before Israel as a nation became impregnated with Yahshua, he had already been here. That's deep. That's deep. Think on what I'm saying now. That's deep. Because he stood there and talked to Yahushua. He talked to him. He said, who are you? You with us or against us? He says, neither. But as the captain of Yahweh's host, Place where you stand is Kodesh ground. Take your shoes off. He bust the general down to a private. You hear me? Take your shoes off. Now, why didn't he fight with him? Joshua was a warrior. Why didn't he fight with him? Because he knew who he was. Okay? He came. He was with us from the beginning. The book talks so great about him. It says there was nothing made that was not made without him. The book talks so wonderful about it. It says, Yahweh possessed me from the beginning of his way. Isn't that beautiful? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe. Nevertheless, the Apostle Paul told us about them layups. Y'all got a layup?
Yes.
You better say yes.
Yes, sir.
He said there's a crown laid up for you. And then Yahweh told you a little secret about himself. He says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Question. Are you saved? If you can't name it and claim it, hey, I'm just telling you. One of the psalmists said, I shall live and not die. Shall declare the word of Yahweh. We had sickness here struck through all. I was down. Many people was wishing I would go. They were wishing it on me. Yahweh showed it to me. And I got about that bed one morning and I declared the word of Yahweh. I said, I shall live and not die, and shall declare the word of Yahweh. And I declare that same thing over some of our brothers and sisters. And they call, and they down, and they sick, and they ill. And I tell them what to do and get them off the phone. I said, and call me when he heals you. And people call or text and let me know, no, our Redeemer lives. Yeah. And we're not going to stand back afraid, waiting on the world. He lives. And is alive forevermore. Yeah. Do you trust him? Yes. Who hath heard such a thing? Or who have seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. Isn't that beautiful? Women go through, now I don't know, so y'all help me with this. Women go through the birthing process, they call it trimesters or something, right? This is just prior to the child coming, am I correct? How many, never mind. That was the stupid question. Mother knew I was going to say. I was going to ask, how many segments is it in trimester? No, the answer's right there. I'm sorry. But anyway. That goes to show I really don't know. But see, you know how these men doctors, they know everything. They're going to tell a woman about childbirth. Oh, you do this. Oh, you do that. Oh, this high heel shoe here. Or this. You ever notice? Show you how messed up the world is. And you can tell these some freaky people now. The woman's high heel shoe was designed by men. You do know that, right? They designed it. So they think they like to see the foot elevated, or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is. But this stuff is that. So he's going to tell you more about you walking and what's comfortable for you than you know. And they your feet. This is the type of world we live in. They're going to tell us how to serve Yahweh. But yet he never entered into a covenanted agreement with them. But they ain't going to tell us how to serve him. You see, this is where Yahweh going to make them so sick of each other. This is how the mark of the beast got to come. Because they're going to be so sick of each other, so sick of one another's lies. And, you know, nations leaders be saying, you know what, I am so tired of that. Boom, send that missile over there. And boom, they be mad. If you look at global politics, it reminds you of street gangs. Ain't no difference. Somebody fighting, they jump on. That's my boy, man. Ain't that how them crimes happen in the city? They shot so-and-so. Well, we gonna ride on them tonight. And they go right back over there, shoot and kill somebody. That was their ally that got killed. So now they gotta go over there and get them. They mad. They saw the car. They knew who drive the car. So they got to come back and get them. And this stuff go on. Tell me the nations ain't the same way. Now, what the hell America got to do with Ukraine? What resource and wealth Ukraine got that America needs to be all over there protecting it? You see, you understand? What? Anybody, real quick. What do Ukraine offer on the world stage? Global resource. What Ukraine got? See, nobody know nothing. But America all in there, right? Just like she was all down in Vietnam and all down in Korea and just all over the place. And when somebody over there, oh, well, I'll be trading with them. That's my boy. So if you invade them, well, I'm going to go get them. Like Kuwait, old Saddam Hussein, so many billions of dollars. Can you imagine you loan a brother or sister $50, then they sit up in the sanctuary and won't pay you your money back? Now you feeling a little salty, right? A little blood pressure up, you a little mad about it, and you might get the scuffing. You know, sometimes Hebrews go at it, but I'm just saying. Look at the nations of the world. It reminds you of gang culture. So ain't no different. They lied, used duplicity, and all this other stuff. Come on, y'all know I'm telling the truth. You can't figure out what's going on in Russia and Ukraine right now. They keep on telling Putin, don't go over there. Going to be consequences. He, really? Man, y'all economy fell. Man, look, you better go over there and get them ships off the water in California and mind your business. We ain't doing nothing to them no way. And that's how he did. Waving them on, right? It's gang culture. And y'all, we got to bring it to an end. Because if y'all sure don't step in, we don't have an ally. I ain't gonna lie to you. We don't have no ally. If them nations was so true, they'd stop their racist ways. They going at them now for critical race theory, just for teaching the truth. I don't use no terms where I got to fancifully dress it up. Call it what it is. We are teaching truth. There ain't no critical race theory. You won't even allow them to be critical. I criticized something they said and they took the video down. What? Critical race theory. I got something critical for you. On one of the job sites, we found an aluminum baseball bat. So I kept it. I said, oh, well, I'll keep that. I'll put that in the truck. Man, that's a weapon. I said, well, whatever. I just left it in the back of the truck. So I pulled up the other day. Little lady out there walking the dog right across the street over there on that lawn. He stops and squats. So I figured, I said, okay, it's the girl. Based on the way the dog urinates. Okay, it's the girl. I'm getting out truck. I'm getting in the back, pulling some stuff out of it, and the dog. So first time I didn't look and pay any attention. The lady barely could hold the dog. And then I look up and realize the dog is barking at me. Now let me show you how language is universal. I don't care if the dog speaks Spanish or French or what have you. The dog understood back. Okay? I pulled it out and waved it. And the dog. And I thought to myself, language is universal. The dog speaks back. So the nations of the earth are the same way. Yahweh's people, we got to know Yahweh speak. We got to know his language. When he say he going to rise up and determine the prey, he going after the prey. He going to make them a prey. Remember the first scripture? It says, for he that touches you, touches the apple of his eye. Is that not what Zechariah 2:7 said? You done touch Yahweh's people and you think it's funny. You think you got away with it. You think there ain't no consequences. And you're going to serve his people. Now, without rubbing it in or disrespecting them, a lot of them realize I'd rather make it in and be a servant than to burn forever. Okay? A lot of them know and understand it. Let's look at this. Now, this verse here in Zechariah says, for behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that Yahweh of hosts hath sent me. Now, shake their hand at them. You're seeing people in time. Keep on here. Ain't that what the old folk used to do? Keep it up. Now what this meant? This universal, right? Even that old, what's that old beast of a man? Medea. Whatever his name is, that old beast thing. What did he tell the child? 3 o'clock. It's universal. So now here we have it in the book. He said, I will shake my hand over them. Now, what is he going to do when he shake his hand at them? Let's go to Isaiah 14, because this is so beautiful. Somebody got to tell Yahweh's people this and ready them. You're not going through this now just because he's making it a hot racial thing. You're going through this because of the simplicity of the fact that it's about justice. You did somebody wrong that you really shouldn't have touched. Okay? I knew some guys years ago, I was going to school, and they jumped out of a car and took a brother's radio from him. And we were thinking, ooh, you shouldn't have did that. They took the brother's radio from him. And the brother was like the black sheep of his little family. He didn't bother nobody. He wasn't thugging or running around like that. But they took his radio. And he come from a family with a long line of thugs. The granddaddy was a thug. The daddy was a thug. And the daddy's sons was thugs. But the baby boy was just meek, gentle little kid. But he went and told his brothers who it was and what they took from it. And when them brothers came to see them brothers that took that radio from their little brothers, they were not playing. And all I remember was saying, I knew they shouldn't have did that. It's the same thing with the world. They hire you, put you in these low positions. All of you are underpaid. I don't care who you are not paid your worth. But I'll tell you how to earn it, how to get it all back. Do what Yahweh commanded you to do. You have to obey. This is your duty. You have to do it. You hear what I say? You have to do it. And getting back to my initial point, Yahweh ain't telling us to do nothing we can't do. You hear me? He ain't telling us to do nothing we can't do. I had my little grandson, he was reading his little stuff, and he was looking at the words, and I said, well, come on now, I know you can do this. You took your thing, this, that, now, and the little tab, he pushed the little machine, and it said, great, wonderful. Every time he got the words, I said, see, I told you you could do it. His little confidence, he kind of looked back at me like, yeah, okay, you ain't so dull after all. You pretty sharp for a grandfather. But it was the point. We have to be encouraged. That's why I keep on saying it to you all. I don't care if it's a rebuke. I don't care if it's loving. I don't care if it's gentle. I don't care if I whisper it. I keep saying to you all, calm down. Wait. Now we got it. He ain't gonna let none of you slip through the crack. He ain't gonna forget a single one of you. So why are you so anxious? I know you're happy. You know how it is. I can't speak from total experience, but I've been around enough people in life to know we didn't keep Christmas in our house. So we as children, we didn't miss it. But you know the rules. Little children go to bed and they peep and see their parents putting toys and stuff out. They can't sleep. They up all night. They really just can't wait. That's Israel. We want to be saved and we want all the goodness of Yahweh's word, but you got to clean your room up first. You got to eat all the meal that's on your plate. You got to do all of that to get the blessing. Right? Israel, I don't need to eat that. Give me the dessert. That's us. That's you. It's me. It's her. It's them. It's him. Am I lying?
No, sir.
You all know. And you have a right to desire the best from Yahweh. Isaiah 14. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their, maybe say apartment building. Maybe say the project. And the strange people shall be joined with them. See, there's some strange people in this world. You know good and damn well you strange. Anytime you're a man, you go out and lift weights and take some kind of pills that give you breasts. So then you walk down the street with all these muscles and breasts. So now, those of us, that lady need a bra on. Plus, that lady is dumb. It ain't no lady. It's Jim. You know you strange when you want to be like that. You know you strange when you born one way and you want the organ of somebody else. Well, I'm no longer Frankie. I'm Francine. People got now look, let's clear up something real quick. Them type of people ain't gonna be joined with you. That ain't what I'm saying. But strange people that allow that in their culture, some of them gonna come to their senses. That's what I'm saying. Okay? That's what, I don't want nobody be, wait a minute now, John. You look up and see the subscribers list, it might be X amount, then boop, 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 boop. Just many done dropped off because did he just say they gonna be? And then the numbers will go back up the following week because the lettuce, guacamole, bacon, and torpedo, tomato, whatever gang, they be on your cake. And most people scared of them. They don't really want them coming at them. You know, people get afraid, you know. Well, I figured out something through Dave Chappelle. As funny as it is the truth. They don't want nobody to stand up to them and really get down on them. So what they do is they come in droves. But when you stand your ground and you don't back down, they don't have a leg to stand on anyway, so then they leave you alone. Might well fight. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he did to him. He made jokes about him, laughed at him, did all this stuff, man, bust all of it down, and still let him know his position is his position. Why can't the ministers of Yahweh do that? My position on all this stuff out here is the position Yahweh gave me. I don't need a what do you call it? An opinion. I'm going with Yahweh's word. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them. In the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives. Whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Notice he said rule. You're going to be in charge. You understand? Scripture says, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of Yahweh. Can't be wicked. They rule over us and rule wicked. Rule against you, all kind of stupid stuff, and all this stuff. Man, come on now. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall give you rest from your sorrow, and from your fear, and from the hard bondage wherein you were made to serve. And you shall take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, or proverb against King Biden, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none prohibited it. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth, what did I say? Into singing. Once Yahweh redeemed the whole world, even the Gentile nations going to break forth and sing. They ain't going to have no choice but to sing praises to the great I am.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes,
They ain't going to have no choice but to sing it. You around telling us to sing the songs of Zion in your strange land. You going to sing it in Yahweh's land. You going to, look, as soon as I said that, the fire truck, yeah, you might well weep and howl now, because you're going to sing praises to him. Yeah, confirmation. Greatest confirmation we ever got in the history of the assemblies of Yahweh. One night we were teaching, we were reading in the scriptures, and it said that at the day of tabernacles in the kingdom age, there shall be bells upon the horses, and it shall be written, holiness unto Yahweh. Because they're going to get them carriages and put them bells on. You know, the Arab used to bring horses to the community. You hear the little bells, and the food and the offering that they're going to bring, it shall be written on bells, holiness to Yahweh. As soon as we said that, an Arab pulled up, and you could hear the bells on the horses out there ringing. I never forget that. I was like, whoo, was that beautiful. See, our people don't know things like that's written in the book. They don't know. They don't know, man. So again, the redeemed of Yahweh, even the Gentiles, they're going to sing his praises, man. They're going to sing it. Remember that song we sing, that the sisters, boy, I watched the doors, y'all, they shut their little eyes, they sing, hallelujah. We be in there back on the men, we gotta get them bass and baritones together, but we be in there, brother. Hallelujah. You gotta sing it. You gotta put your heart into it, man. Stop worrying about how you look. Nobody's looking at you. They busy over there trying to get their line right. Sing it. Praise his holy name. The minister said that he prayed y'all would bless the hands of the musicians, the little instrument. Don't forget the vocal cords, all that. As y'all would give us all a mind to sing his praises, man. That's how we got to do, man. Man, we just don't know. But you see, all the commands of Yahweh, they're within the natural power of every one of us, right? To do it. We just got to desire to do it. We got to want to do it. Watch this. Let's pull this out. A lot of the brothers, they like what they call the lost book. Yeah, you're teaching out the lost books. Mine ain't lost. I found mine. Found this morning. Pull it right out the shelf. Now, suppress, different story. They like this. Now, I'm reading out of the Apocalypse of Cedric. You got to hear this. This is a conversation. This is a man that, first of all, he had to be right with Yahweh. For Yahweh to even consider holding a conversation with him. Isn't that a great honor? And Yahweh said unto him, welcome, my dear Cedric. What kind of complaint do you have against the Elohim who created you? For you have said, I want to speak with Elohim face to face. And Cedric said unto him, indeed, the Son does have a complaint against the Father. My Yahweh, what did you create the earth for? Yahweh said unto him, for man. Cedric said, what did you create the sea? And why did you spread every good thing upon the earth? Yahweh said, for man. Cedric said unto him, if you have done these things, why did you destroy man? And Yahweh said, man is my work and the creature of my hands, and I discipline him as I find it right. Cedric said unto him, your discipline is punishment and fire, and they are very bitter, my Yahweh. It would be better for man if he were not born. Indeed, what have you done, Yahweh? For what reason did you labor with your spotless hand and create man, since you did not desire to have mercy upon him? Yahweh said to him, I created the first man, Adam, and placed him in paradise, in the midst of which is the tree of life. And I said to him, eat of all the fruit, only beware of the tree of life. For if you eat from it, you will surely die. However, he disobeyed my commandment and had been deceived by the devil. He ate, and having been deceived by the devil, he ate from the tree. Cedric said to him, it was by your will that Adam was deceived, my master. You commanded your angels to worship Adam, but he who was first among the angels disobeyed your order and did not worship him. And so you banished him because he transgressed your commandment and did not come forth to worship the creation of your hand. If you loved man, why did you not kill the devil, the artificer of all iniquity? Who can fight against an evil spirit? He enters the hearts of men like a smoke and teaches them all kinds of sin. He even fights against you, the immortal Elohim. So what can pitiful man do against him? Yet have mercy, master, and destroy punishment. Otherwise, receive me also with the sinners. For if you will not be merciful with the sinners, where are your mercies and where is your compassion? And Yahweh said unto him, be it known to you that everything which I commanded man to do was within his reach. You can do it. You can live right. Calm down and learn it. I had a man on the job. He lied on me. And the way he lied on me hurt me so bad. It was fighting words. But I rebuked him, I chastised him, and everything went and he blew over, whatever the case may be. And the company got wind that I won't be there much longer. When y'all says go, I'm going to go. But they trying to arrange, get people suitable to take my place. So they sent this man to class. But before he went to class, he asked me for my book, the study material that they gave you. I want that material, because that way I can pass the test with no problem. But I never gave it to him. I said, they'll give it to you there, but the secret to passing it, you must listen to everything the instructor says, because all the answers that you're going to need, he's going to teach it to you. And you need to recall it when you take the test. So he failed the test. He didn't pass. He didn't make it. Evil dialogue started to surface around the company about it. And he pulled me up. And he began to talk privately to me. And I was so hurt for the man as he began to cry. Because he can't read. He survives daily. Basics. But he cannot read. And even though I had to read the books and everything too, I explained to him, everybody don't learn the same. Some are audio, some are visual, some are haptic, or what we call hands-on. I said, you learn very well audibly. And I told you, you have to listen to what the teacher was saying. And as best you could, put that on the paper. He says to me, I know you're a blessed man. He didn't say Yahweh, but he said, I know you're a man of anyway. I thought if I just had your book, it would bless me too. And I could pass it. Now, I won't condemn him. I'm making a point. See how the world wants to possess all your stuff, Yisrael? They want your skin color. They think that that'll get them in. They want daughters of Yah. They want your lips. They want your hips. They want everything about you. You, men of Yisrael, they want your style. I won't use the word swagger. They want your style, your speech, your bop. They want that because they think that will make them Baruch of Yahweh. But it's in what Yah said. It's in us to do it. We just have to want to do it. And the man was so humble. They sent him back to take it yesterday. He took the test. And we know they curved it for him to make it through for him. And he called me. He said, I just wanted to say thank you for your prayer. I did pass. I don't know what to do. I'm so happy. So I said, remember what I told you the other day, that we as a people, we got to be like two drunks coming out of the bar at 2 a.m. in the morning. One is drunk, he's staggering and leaning to the left. The other is drunk, he's staggering and leaning to the right. When you find a brother in the Messiah, you got to stagger on and hold one another up. He said, well, man, I'm so happy I can't drive. I'm going to pull over because my eyes are watering up. I'm crying. So, with my sense of humor, I said, well, I'm out here on this job site, me and one other person. I need you real bad. So, I'm out here staggering. I'm leaning to the right. I strongly suggest you get your butt in here and you stagger to the left and hold me up, because the day is a rough day. And he say, all right, well, I'm out here like a baby. Let me wipe my eyes and stop crying, man. Love you, man. I'll see you in a few minutes. Hold up. And he said, tell me one more time, what's the name of God? And I said, Yahweh is not a God, but his name is Yahweh because he called us all to exist. For the rest of the day, you couldn't even get rid of him. He just was up under me like a little baby because he learned that Yahweh had to knock him down to teach him a lesson in humility. And I say this to say to us as Israel, Yahweh's got to knock us down as a nation. We are the last generation under these curses of the law. We're the last generation to receive that chastisement, which makes you so special because, see, now you got to clean up and realize you got the answers to the test. Abraham was the answer to the test. Job was the answer to the test. Mother Sarah, she laughed. She was an answer to a question on the test. You got all the answers before you, and your fathers have went through it. They took the same test that you and I are taking. We got to read the signs now. We don't want to be spiritual illiterates. We are knowledgeable in Yahweh. And we are told in the word, I can do all things through Yahshua HaMashiach, who strengthens me. If you got to ask Yahweh anything, you ask Yahweh what my grandson asked me. Ask Yahweh, say, what's wrong with me? And heal me. Because most of the time, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just won't do right. That's us. That's you. That's me. That's her. That's him. That's them. We just won't do right. Give me one question. Give me 1 second. I have something else to read, but I wanted to get to that question where Yahweh asked Cedric, why are you twisting words? In other words, you deceive me. Anyway, I don't. Okay. I said, Cedric, I made man in 3 stages. When he is young, I overlook his mistakes because of his youth. Again, when he is a man, I watch over his mind. You get a certain age, you start thinking different. Again, when he grows old, I preserve him so that he may repent. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
He let us grow to a certain age. You get older, you get mature. Just to give you space. In the event, perhaps, you can change your mind. The demon in the machine. Just the era of time we in. What little gift Yahweh give me, I use that gift to the honor and glory of Yahweh for the embetterment of Yisrael. I read their stuff a lot of days and I understand it. And I look at it and I always marvel at the way they do what Yahweh's word says. Keep in mind, in Cedric chapter 5, he asked Yahweh, who can fight against the spirit, which like smoke can enter into the vessel of a man? Now, I want y'all to tell me I'm tripping. I want you to hear what these demons are saying. This is from the book, Demon in the Machine. Page 32. One of their great scientific minds, what have you, Maxwell Tilhousen or Tilda, whatever. I don't care if I don't get his name right. Here's the gist of what was proposed in his letter to Tate. He mentions that gas molecules rush around, and the hotter the gas, the faster they go. But not all molecules move at the same speed. In a gas at a fixed temperature, energy is shared out randomly, not uniformly, meaning that some molecules move more quickly than others. Now, I want y'all to listen to this and envision your cell phones moving fast. Envision a flat screen TV. You hit the button, it cut on, it does all this stuff. Now, remember, the man of Yahweh said that this evil spirit moves like smoke. I said that everything has a spirit behind it. I want you to hear how these people explain what they have stumbled across. Maxwell worked out precisely how the energy was distributed among these molecules. What fraction have half the average speed, twice the average, and so on. Realizing that even in thermodynamic equilibrium, gas molecules have a variety of speeds and therefore energies. Maxwell was struck by a curious thought. Suppose it were possible, using some clever device, to separate out the fast molecules from the slow molecules without expending any energy. This sort of procedure would in fact create a temperature difference. Fast molecules over here, slow ones over there. And a heat engine could be run off the temperature gradient to perform work. Using this procedure, one will be able to start with a gas at a uniform temperature and convert some of its heat energy into work without any external change, in flagrant violation of the second law, whatever that means. It would in effect reverse the arrow of time and open the way to a type of perpetual motion. So far, so shocking. But before throwing the rule book of nature into the waste bin, we need to confront the very obvious question of how the separation of fast and slow molecules might actually be attained. Maxwell's letter outlined what he had in mind to accomplish this goal. The basic idea is to divide the box of gas into two halves with a rigid screen in which there is a very small hole. Among the teeming hordes of molecules bombarding the screen, there will be a handful that arrive just where the hole is located. These molecules will pass through into the other half of the box. If the hole is small enough, only one molecule at a time will traverse it. Left to itself, the traffic in both directions will average out and the temperature will remain stable. But now imagine that the hole could be blocked with a movable shutter. Furthermore, suppose there were a tiny being, a demon, stationed near the hole and capable of operating the shutter. If it is nimble enough, the demon could allow only slow-moving molecules to pass through the hole in one direction and only fast-moving molecules to go in the other. By continuing this sorting process for a long time, the demon will be able to raise the temperature on one side of the screen and lower it on the other, thus creating a temperature difference without appearing to expend any energy. Order out of molecular chaos, all for free. To Maxwell and his contemporaries, the very idea of manipulating demons, violating what was supposed to be a law of nature, that entropy never decreases, seemed preposterous. Clearly, something had been left out of the argument, but what was it? Well, how about the fact that there are no demons in the real world? That's not a problem. Maxwell's argument falls into the category of what are known thoughts and experiments, imaginary scenarios that point to some important scientific principles. They don't have to be practical suggestions. There is a long history of such experiments in physics, and they have frequently led to great advances in understanding and eventually to practical devices. In any of Maxwell's cases, the need of an actual sentient being to operate the shutter, just a molecule or molecular device able to perform the sorting task, was at hand. At the time he wrote this to Tate, Maxwell's proposal was a flight of fancy, and he can have no idea or inkling that demonic type entities really do exist. In fact, they existed in his own body. But the realization of a link between molecular demons and the lay life. And pardon me. But the realization of a link between molecular demons and life lay 1 century into the future. Now, what did I just read? Basically, 100 years ago, they were saying, if we just had help with what we're working on, something small, like a demon, we could pull this off, where all the demons could come through and shut out anything else that they don't need to assist them, and it would help us. Here you are, 100 years later, you got advances in microchip and biotechnology to a point and a degree that is now capable of being done. And remember what he said they pulled these demons from? Gas. First thing I told you all when I started speaking, that everything in this universe has a spiritual component behind it. And if Yahweh don't reveal it, if he don't teach it to us and he don't give us an understanding, we'll be in the world going along with any and everything that they lay out. Because in one of the materials of research that I had, the man said the scientific technologies are so far advanced that you and I, we're still waiting on electronics. Plug in the thing. Batteries in this, that, and the other. Their technology is now so far advanced because they have tapped into the demonic realm and they have supernatural help. I hope y'all listening, because if they take it down, they take it down. I'm just telling you what I know. They got something. Now, you mean to tell me you ain't got no help? Calm down. Wait on Yahweh. We have to make some change. I got a couple scriptures I really need to run through because I want to point out what Yahshua said. Go to Matthew chapter 19. You have to now be paying attention to something Yahshua said if you want to make it, especially in the latter days. Matthew 19, starting right at the 13th verse. Little children, pay attention to what I'm about to say. You're not too young to learn this. In fact, you need to know this. Matthew 19:13. Then were there brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. But Yahshua said, suffer the little children. No, tolerate them. Let them alone. And forbid them not to come unto me. For of such is the kingdom of heaven. If you ever really sit down with a child and talk with them, you can gain total control by the proper teaching of a child. You ain't got to do a whole bunch of hooting, howling, beating, and banging. You have to talk to them. You got to get on the level where they understand what you're saying, and it brings them up higher. And he laid his hands on them and departed thence. Isn't that amazing? He just put his hands on them, prayed for them. What type of spiritual transference came from the body of that great one onto the body of the children that he didn't have to stand around and wait for the result? He was absolutely certain. Are you hearing me? Let's go further. Let's go backward to Matthew 18. Verse 1. And at the same time came the disciples unto Yahshua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahshua called the little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, truly I say unto you, except you be converted, and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name, receiveth me. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. You see, Israel, when people come to this way of life, and they're converting, and they're new, they're fresh, they're trying, they got a renewed mind, and they're trying to really, you got to be careful what you try to teach them, because see, if you throw them off the path, and they've come to Yahweh like a child, seeking salvation, if you knock them off the path, look what you done. You understand? There are soul stealers in the temple of Yah. I've seen it in my day, and you all have seen it too. Just literally suck a person's soul right from out under them. That's why you have to guard your own soul. And he compared us all to little children. You hear what I say? I come home every day. I got so much I got to do. Got this, got that, grandchildren there. I stop what I'm doing every day and try to get that time in with Isaiah, because he's there. By the time I get there, school is dismissed. Young Jeremiah, he's already gone. When I get there, I try to make sure, put that time. That's why I hear. I always sit and listen to what the little children saying. I don't do a whole bunch of playing, but you got to know how to protect them, how to teach them, as well as how to become like them in the eyes of Yahshua. Let's go a little further, because I'm trying to give you all some last minute clues on how to make it into the kingdom of Yahweh. Let's go back to Matthew 19 and start around the 16th verse. You got to hear what's taking place here. And behold, one came unto him and said, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may inherit eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There's none good or none tub, that is Yahweh. But if you will enter into life, keep the commandments. What did Yahweh tell Cedric?
The commandments.
Everything that you were required to do within your reach. You can do it. Stop acting like you can't obey Yahweh. Stop acting like Yahweh's way of life is so boring to you. You can't take one day out of your week to sit still and learn the word of Yahweh. Every Shabbat, you should take away something different than you took before. Every Shabbat. And then even somebody asks you how Yahweh has baruched you in your life and things have changed in such a way that even in the midst of your trials and tribulation, you are still happy because you understand the beauty of the hope that lies within you. You should be able to give it to somebody else. Are you hearing me? Not running around snatching up, trying to preach, trying to make everybody come. Because sometimes you'll find if you're teaching, Yahweh won't let you talk to people. You hear what I say? Sometimes Yahweh will silence you because it ain't to give it to us. It might not be for everybody. Let's go further. And he said unto him, which? Yahshua said, Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother. And thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Real quick, commercial. Dear brother in Yah, sent me a letter. You know who you are. I know who you are. Dear brother asked me a letter about taking care of your dad on the Shabbat. It's no harm to do good on the Shabbat. Yes, take care of your dad. You're not on the clock. It's not servile labor. Yes, dear brother, you take care of your father.
Hallelujah.
Yahweh says here, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land. That's how you going to get long life. Honor the old man until it's time for Yahweh to reclaim what he gave him. So you've done no harm. Honor your dad. That's right. That's how you get your blessing. And the young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? And notice how he declared his own righteousness. Yahshua said unto him, If you will be perfect, go sell that thou hast and give to the poor. And thou shalt have treasure in heaven. And come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possession. Now, let's be clear about what Yahshua meant by go sell what you had. Go sell what you have didn't mean, okay, here's a rich man, and whatever it was he had over here, go sell it all, be more richer. He meant in essence now, don't worry about that. If you got to give that away or get rid of that, then go sell what you had. You understand? I don't run around on a mission looking for homeless people to hand money to. It's not the way it works with me. It's that I encounter people sometimes who are really in need. And I know that I ain't got but a split second to discern whether this is an addict, bumming money or doing something, hustling, whether this is a potential robbery or what. I ain't got but a split second to discern. And when Abba Yah command that I do so, I do so. Remember I told you about the little man at the corner? And it seemed like the light took forever to change. Not that I wanted to rush to get away from him, but it was hurting me so bad. But yeah, he was so thankful, he kept talking. He that lendeth to the poor lends to Yahweh, and he will repay him. Yahweh give me stuff all the time, and then I give it back to other people. And he repay me again, where sometimes I have so much, sometimes you're forced to do and or help others. You hear what I say? See, most of the time we're so busy trying to stack, trying to get it. And when you get it, you still ain't happy. Your happiness is in Yahshua. We got a kingdom coming, man, from which no one will ever take command of it ever again. He said it will not be left to other people. It's up to you to fight for your position in it. You're qualified applicants. You know how I know you're the qualified applicants? Because he woke you up. He called. And you answer. Make sense? Bear with me a few more minutes. But when the young man heard this, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then Yahshua said unto the disciplined ones, truly I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Notice now, they can't do what y'all, man, ain't nobody caring about Gates and Bezos and Rockefeller and all them giving away money. They had so much that their giving pattern is based upon being able to give and gain more. When you give and gain more, it ain't because you structuring it to gain more. You gain more because it's sincere, and Yahweh gives more, not the rich giving, and then I'm going to send you on this scholarship, and when you learn all you learn, you come over here and work for me. I'm going to pay you big because what you doing going to be big and benefit me more. That's what the rich do. That ain't what Yahweh's saying to us. So he says, how hardly shall the rich man enter into the kingdom of heaven? And again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Now, what does that mean? There was some gates in the south section of Jerusalem called Needle's Eye. And I believe, if historic memory serves me correct, it was about 3 of them. And when traders came into Jerusalem from that section of the gate, their camels could barely make it through the gate because they had to get down on their knees. Can you imagine a camel getting down and crawling on its knees to come under a gate? So this is why the comparison, rich men can't humble themselves. They can't get down on their knees. They cannot do it the way even an animal knew to do it, to come under the gate of Needle's Eye. Now go look it up. That way you only got to say, L. Johnson lied. Go look it up. That's why a lot of times people today get wealth and riches or get blessed on their job. Sometimes they can be dirt poor. They just got a little more than they are accustomed to having. And they get uppity. But here, he talked about it. And when the disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, who then can be saved? But Yahshua beheld them. Now he looked at them careful, and he said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible. So then even the rich can make it, if Yahweh grants such. Then Kepha, or Peter, said unto him, okay, now I got a question. Behold, we've forsaken everything and followed you. What shall we therefore have? And this was a valid question. He wasn't just no smart ass. Hey, question. Blah, 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 blah. This was a valid concern. And Yahshua said unto them, truly I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration. Let's stop right there. Because he's not talking about just regathering Israel. A lot of people preaching today with the intention of waking up black folk. You Israel. You Israel. You on a mission. You wake up black people. Well, all black people are not Israel. Some of us are Canaanite. Some are Hittite, Amorite, all them other things. Even some Amorite blood mixed up in there with Israel. Hold now, what do you say to them? Your father was an Amorite. And thy mother Hittite. Don't forget it's in the book. Okay? King David's grandmother, was his grandmother, great-grandmother, Ruth was a what? A Moabite. Now, you know how the nation of Moab, how they came into being through sexual perversion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Yahweh has mercy on whom he will have mercy. Make sense? So now Yahshua says, you that have been with me in the regeneration. A regeneration meaning now, our change is by the presence of Almighty Yahweh's Hasid, his unmerited favor. That is the regeneration. You are being taught how to be a new creature. You got to think different. Like when people come here, yeah, well, in the church, I did this and I did that. I was over there, I was over there, blah, 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 because they thinking, the little bitty place right here, you ain't got no room for all them different positions. This is the keeper of the book. And he's the keeper of the book's back keeper. And he keeps the keeper of the book's keeper's back. And cut that nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? That's what a lot of brothers and sisters, they've been here over the years, and they got angry with me because I strive to run the assembly here according to the rules of the book. By the way, dear daughters of y'all, I want to talk with y'all. They got a good home assignment for us, something we can do here. Fair enough? You all gonna love this. I'll make sure I talk to you about it today. But anyway, specific things was reserved for the men in Israel to do because it was for the preservation of the nation. And then they were backed up by the women and the children on certain levels so that it saved and or conserved the nation. Am I making sense? Nobody was excluded. Nobody was excluded. Just everybody didn't have the same job. You got me? See, that'd be like equivalent to me trying to tell Brother Ed, who's a carpenter, how to drive a nail in a 2x4. Knowing me and my bad luck. I'm sitting up here with a splinter in my pinky finger. Because I touched a piece of wood early in the week and it hit me. Now, Brother Ed would have knew how to pick it up differently where that wouldn't have happened. But here, old dumb bricklayer had to go to the truck and cry. Anyway, we have to learn what our roles are, what our places are. And then all things work together for the good of them who love Yahweh. Even the nation comes together because Yahweh look up and say, oh, look at my children. So he says, when the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his glory. Wait a minute. Isaiah 42, what did he say? After Zechariah 2:7, he says, after the glory have Yahweh sent me. Now here Yahshua is talking about having obtained it, right? When the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his what? Or kabod. You shall sit upon 12 thrones. What they going to be doing? Sleeping? Drinking? Snoring? Fornicating? Judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Positions are being given out. Authority is being dispensed. Rulership now. Because this kingdom is going to extend from one end of the earth even unto the other. And it shall not be left to other people. How do I know you won't be a mayor over some province in China? Remember, his kingdom will be from sea to sea. And at the great white throne, when it is all extended in Yahweh Yahshua, and he bring all the earth back together. John said, I saw no more sea. But the water got to flow out of the throne of the Lamb. For Yahweh and the Lamb are the light of it. Man with his mind don't know the answer. Ain't figured it out, start trying to think, well, how could that be? How you have all this land and no water, no this, that? Shut your face. Because it ain't for you to know everything that Yahweh gonna lay out. But sometimes Yahweh got to reveal things so that the messengers can speak it to the people, that they may look into it deeper in the word and say, right there in our face. How can they hear without a preacher? How can he preach? Right? My wife sent me the store update. Get a certain kind of battery. Right? How am I going to get the battery if I didn't know what the instructions were? Plenty of batteries in the house. Yeah, I got double A's over there. I got this, that, and over there. Got this, that. Didn't have that kind. Have to know what the instructions are. So now, how can Israel teach the world? When we're failing the test now, we got to go in the dirt. which is the equivalent of waiting on your score to come back. Then you get up, resurrected. If you've done good, you get up to everlasting life. If you've done evil, shame and everlasting contempt. You got to know where you're going, Israel. Where do you feel like you're going? And I say to Israel, you all, stop that old, I don't think I can make it. Shut your mouth, because you keep on saying you can't, then you won't. No man having put forth his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. Don't start the mission if you're going to stop. I have never in my life said, I should have never started preaching. I should have never. My father said something to me that shook me to my core, but I never forgot it because I knew through Yahweh I can do it. He said, you're going to have it a lot rougher and a lot harder in the ministry and preaching than I did. So you might as well prepare yourself. I looked at him, thinking, now, you tell me this now. You now. It was the era of time when Yahweh was getting ready to take him. I'm selfish. To this day, I still admit my selfishness. I would rather he sit right here in 2022 and you all experience what I experienced than to have me here. Sometimes, y'all know me. Man, come on, man. But it's Yahweh's will that it work out the way it worked out. Imagine Israel's pain when Samuel passed off the scene. Imagine their pain when others, they left them. These men did great things. Come on now. Then they had to leave. It was established before all of Israel that little Samuel was a prophet. He little boy, 8 years old. And already the spirit of Yahweh was on him and everybody knew that little boy gonna be a prophet. And then he grew up to be an old man and had to rebuke the nation and let them know, I didn't take anything from any of you. I didn't take one cattle, one sheep. He must have done something where Yahweh took care of it. That's why I get on the brother about his YouTube channel. He keep on telling me, send me some money, send me an offering, send me this, send me this. You should not have to ask because Yahweh will place it upon their heart and they will give you the things that you need to go for. People sent us offering, it helped us print out the material, the things, to get the stamps, to get all this other stuff. You got to utilize the resources. That ain't no carte blanche authority. Now, I'm going up to Beverly Hills. I'm going to get me a nice, fine home, this, that, and that. You stay right there among Yahweh's people. The messenger of Yahweh, they don't realize that's where our protection lies anyway. In Yahweh, Yahshua, and right there among our own people. We ain't got to move out. There's a place here in Baltimore called Preachers Row. Out in Catonsville where all the big time preachers, there ain't a bunch of clowns. All the big time preachers here in Baltimore with the big churches all live out there in Ellicott City, a little place called Preachers Row. They all got the same plumbers, same air conditioning companies, same builders for all their houses, same real estate agents, all of this stuff plugged in. See how it all works out? All of them use the same services. And according to what I know, they all use the same services, household. You got me? Yeah, that's what I said. That was my facial expression when they told me about it. I said, they swapping. Unbelievable. Unheard of in Israel, because it's not to be. And everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, that's why I tell you all, look, do me this favor, Israel. First and foremost, stop fighting with your family. You serve Yahweh, okay, you serve Yahweh. Don't go cutting them off automatically now, unless Yahweh tell you, all right, leave him alone. But don't go making no battle lines drawing. Look, shut up. I know we grew up in the same room and shared bunk beds together. I serve Yahweh now. Shut up. I can't know you no more. Don't do that.
That's right.
And that's what a lot of you, they be fighting with their family members that don't obey Yahweh. They still your family. Don't fight with them. Look at Abraham's father, right? Y'all would call Abraham. Get on up out your father's house and our father's kindred. Go to the land where I show you. Pop like, hey, where you going? Well, y'all told me going out here and do this, that. Oh, well, you know what? I done been here long enough. Wait a minute. He pack up. He going with him. Y'all was like, oh, okay. Which he knew he was going to go. Y'all, let him go. He was going to die over here in peace. He going down. All right, let him go down. I'll let him go down. But I'm going to separate them two. Did Yahweh do it?
Yes, sir.
He separated. So did he fight with his father? He broke his father's idols and everything else up. You read the story, but he broke that stuff up. But when he served Yahweh, showing him, Dad, come on, man. I don't know you no more. Stop fighting with your family. Just serve Yahweh. Because you don't know how your testimony goes over with them. It may not be 2022. They may wake up at the last hour because of you. Yeah, they may do it. Woman told me the other day, she said, you know, brother, I really miss you on the radio. Said, but I got to know Yahweh because of you. She said, because every week you was always saying Yahweh. I said, what is this Yahweh stuff? She said, you know how stupid I felt? She said, my mother had an old dictionary. I looked Yahweh up in the old dictionary. She said, this been sitting in my family for 2 generations. And we never looked in the back and read it. You got on the radio and kept talking about Yahweh. She said, I thought it was some type of medicated ointment or something. And she chuckled when she said it, you know, and I understood her point. But for me, it kind of like, what? But you catch your facial expressions anyway. But that was her point, meaning she didn't know. But she said, I now know Yahweh because of you. You kept saying it. And that's all we got to do as Yahweh's people. Keep obeying. Keep striving. That's why today I take my time. I want to encourage you all. I don't care what they got going on in the world. I don't care what they doing. We got some overcoming to do. There's some things we got to learn how to do. There's some stuff I want to say to you. We keep the past. So if you all know this past couple of years, we don't run it now. We don't film it because it's a memorial. It's a private memorial service. There's a way to keep it there, and we're going to teach on that in the coming weeks so that everybody can be outlined and what they should be doing. Now we're going to watch our health as a nation. All of you all online, all of you here, we're going to watch our health because we all now have the same date. We're passing it and spreading it. If you haven't received the text or the email, just hold on. I'll pick back up tonight at sunset or watch your mail. We're sending out hard copies, everything. We're going to be unified as these days come, and we're going to pray for specific things, and we're going to talk to one another in that chat room or in that email or text or phone call. We're going to talk to one another because we're going to watch and see how Yahweh Baruch us. We ain't just talking money. We're talking health. We're talking knowledge, understanding. We're talking family and relationships and all these things. You can do all things through Yahshua who strengthens you. So stop worrying about the alcoholism. Stop worrying about the addictions. Stop worrying about all of the different stuff that's daily activities. Yahweh told the messenger, all that he asked us to do, it was within our reach. That's a blessing. It's right there. You just don't know it. You hear what I'm saying? You just don't know it. It's like having money. You didn't even know you had it. You get down to the wire and you're looking, digging in your wallet. Hey, wait a minute, where this? Oh, this is my hard time 20. You had it right there. Anybody ever had that hard time 10 or 20? I've had a hard time 1. Just kept $1 and keep this in case hard time. And you get a little above yourself, you get a hard time 20. But you can do this. In fact, I'll say it like the world say. You got this. You got this. Calm down and obey him. And the more you calm down and obey Yahweh, you're going to be so cool, so down. See how Brother Lloyd sitting there? Smooth. He just laid back. Hate to use you as an example, but as I was going to make this point, you was sitting there. He was just cool. He was just laid back. He was relaxed. Listening. Wasn't in la la la. He was listening. Just cool and laid back. That's how you'll be in Yahweh. You ever notice the hypocrites in Yahweh? Now, I ain't disrespecting nobody. Gone, absent, past or present, future, whatever. I'm saying, you ever notice the hypocrites? The hypocrites are so tensed up because they're trying to make you think that they're more than what they actually are. Somebody really serving Yahweh, sometimes you're so humbled, so meek, so broke down in the spirit, you just want to be delivered. You sit there and people think, look at you all and depressed. You zoned out because you're just thanking Yahweh for your meal this morning, for another day above ground or whatever the case. And you're just so thankful. The person talking to you, you just smile. You can't really share the fullness of your joy because you're just so thankful for what look you have become the hypocrite. You know you're supposed to have that shirt with 17 buttons instead of 12. You know you're supposed to do, I'm telling you, they create a level of tension because they're not right. So then they got to mask it. They got to hide it from you and I. But if you're truly serving Yahweh, you ain't looking for no praise from the world. You giving Yahweh all the praise, and you know that he gonna praise you back. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, brothers, sisters, father, mother, wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Now you tell me this man was standing here in line. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Everything he talked about is in the word. Now, you really want to find a good example of that? You go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10. I think it's around the 4th verse. Ecclesiastes 10, 4 through 15. And go read that example about what he was saying about the last that'll be first. Because Solomon gets in there and he starts talking about the servants walking and the princes walking and the servants riding the horses and all of that. He breaks all that down. See, Yahshua said nothing that was not written somewhere in the word, because the beauty of his own life, he was the word. And just think how dumbfounded we were as Israel. We turned on our own family and tried to kill the word. Think of what we did. We gave up our own culture to receive the culture of the Gentile. They didn't know Yahweh. They didn't know Yahshua. We turned them over to Caesar. We have no king but Caesar. That's our fathers. Israel, calm down. Be patient. And continue in the straight and narrow path. You are on your way to salvation. This is why somebody had to invent something. Listen to me real close. Somebody had to invent something to get it in your body, to try to change you. That's deep.
Yes, sir.
That's deep.
Yes, sir.
Because Yahweh promised to change you. Revelations tells us about 7 new things that Yahweh gonna make. 7 new things. One of them 7 things is new people. You want to be remade. You want to be a new creature. That's right. So, anybody here think they ain't got this? Anybody here think they can't do it? You can do this. You can do it. That's all right. No, it's all right. Because you know what that means? We're going to love him all the more. We're going to work with him. We're going to push him. Right? Ain't that right? Look at me. You don't want to have your hands up. We're going to push all the more. We're going to treat Yahweh's house like it's supposed to be. He said in the word, for my house should be a house of prayer for all people. We want to live by it. I want to thank you all, the family online. I thank you for your calls, your prayers, your concerns, your offering, for so much sometimes just words of comfort and encouragement. I thank Yahweh that people are not trying to impress me or blow smoke up my nose, as we say in the street, even worse. But I thank Yahweh that it's just a level of sincerity. That's what we want to do as a people. Pull each other together as a nation, because if you watching the front door, then I got to have the back door. We got to be watching it to make certain that we are all walking in one accord. Don't mean you don't love one another. Sometimes you got to cut people off. Sometimes you got to shut people down, whatever the case may be, and keep right on loving one another. But you learn to keep confusion to a bare minimum, because even Yahweh himself, he is not the author of confusion. So you got this? You do yours, I do mine. You pray for me as I pray for you. Again, I thank Yahweh for all of you in ever so many wonderful ways. Most importantly, thank Yahweh for another Shabbat. Guess what I did? I watered up one time, but I made it through a sermon and did not cry. Hallelujah. It does. It really touches me. It pains me that very few love us the way that we should love us. But the way that Yahweh, Yahshua loves us, yeah, it should make you cry. Because if you get it wrong and yet keep trying and want to get it right, you can do it. And see, that was my test this week. The brother thought that he had a tremendous test. Nah, that was a test to me as well, because I had to speak words of encouragement to him just to get him up enough to go take a test, to go do a job that I know he can do anyway. And to encourage people in Yahweh. That's a beautiful thing. That's why I say to you all, I love you so much. There's nothing here in Yahshua I won't do for you all. If it's in the power of my hand to do it, you know me. You don't have to ask twice. You ain't got to repeat that thing. El John's going to try to get it done immediately. And I always tell people, I might be slow, but I try to make certain I keep my word. There's a lot going on, but this week was a beautiful week for me. I thank y'all. My phone was jumping and ringing and texting different things, and I was reading and responding and sending out because we were trying to coordinate. And I've never in my lifetime, I've never had to work with so many people. Minister doing one thing on his end, Deacon doing something on his end. You got the daughters of y'all doing stuff on their end. Although I came here early in the week, the place smells so beautiful. I'm like, they been here. Somebody been here. Just the cleaning and all. Just thanking y'all. I've never had to network with so many people in my life that we all got that one same little goal. And I thank y'all because I realized I ain't even ahead of it. I'm a worker bee, just like everybody else. And I realize how beautiful it is. And the word says, behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Only other level of unity we got left for today, we're going to eat together like we have done. Yisrael, you got this. Because Yahweh called you. He chose you. He said, make certain your calling and election are what?
Sure.
Then surely you can do this. Let us stand. Almighty Father, we thank you for the beauty of the gift of life, our health and strength. We thank you for the activity of all of our limbs. We ask a special prayer for many in Israel that have been sick and stricken and have been knocked down. We ask in the precious name of Yahshua HaMashiach that by the end of this very day, you touch their hearts and their minds. Heal them, Abba Yah, of all their wounds and sicknesses, any diseases. Touch them, Abba Yah, in such a way that they will walk up before you in a manner that is clean, honorable, and acceptable in your sight, so that as we strive to make it into your kingdom, we all want to hear you say, well done, my tub and faithful servant. These blessings we ask in Yahshua's precious name. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Happy Sabbath unto you all.
Sabbath to you, Elder.